ending up about 54 points at 26,439. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News Radio.
$7 meal from Circle K. Get your choice of 2 Nathan's all-beef hot dogs or a half-pound Nathan's all-beef footlong, a big wrap bag of chips, and any size Polar Pop. That's a giant deal of a meal, all for only $7. Circle K. Take it easy.
Once upon a time, if you suffered a stroke, an extreme form of cancer, or needed specialized care like open heart surgery, patients had to go off-island for treatment. Today, GRMC provides this care, so patients recover on Guam, surrounded by loved ones. Follow-up care happens locally, and there are no additional expenses for a caregiver to travel with you. If you're a GovGuam employee or retiree, choose Calvo Select Care, the only insurance plan that includes GRMC.
It's important to have claims process that works for you. At Guahan Insurance Services, we make things simple and convenient. Same door you walk in to purchase your insurance is the same door you open to file your claim. We can't pretend that the car insurance claims process is fun, but we can promise a hassle-free and speedy recovery without any runarounds. For your home, auto, and business insurance, visit us at the Camacho Landmark Center on Marine Corps Drive in Tamuning. Don't forget to like us on Facebook or give us a call at 475-1162 or text 929-SAVE. That's 929-7283.
Grilled salmon, petite sirloin. Can't decide.
What are you doing?
Making my top 10 list of favorite dishes at Ruby Tuesday.
You really need to get a hobby.
But I can't decide. There's no way I can narrow down so many classic dishes to just 10.
Then it's a good thing Ruby Tuesday did it for you.
It's the all-time favorites menu at Ruby Tuesday Guam. We took our most popular dishes and put them on one great menu for only $14.99. Hickory pork chop, Parmesan shrimp pasta, prime loco moco. 10 top sellers at one great price. Pick your favorite for a limited time at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
UFC 229 on Sunday, October 7th. The notorious Conor McGregor returns to retake the UFC lightweight title from unbeaten champion Khabib Nurmagomedov in the main event of UFC 229. Pre-show starts at 10 a.m. and the fight starts at noon. Use your remote or call 688-CARE to order this pay-per-view event on Channel 401 or in HD on Channel 402. UFC 229 on Docomo Pacific is brought to you by TGI Fridays.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. News time here at The Point is 8 minutes past 6 a.m. this Friday morning. I'm Kevin Kerrigan. Here's a look now at some of the top stories from the Guam Daily Post. The Guam Attorney General's office is conducting a criminal investigation related to the long-running dispute over the duty-free retail concession contract at the A.B. Wonpat International Airport. In late August, subpoenas were sent to representatives of the airport, DFS Guam, and Lotte Duty Free Guam. All 3 parties were ordered to appear in the Superior Court of Guam on September 14th and testify before a grand jury in connection with what their subpoena says is an ongoing investigation. The subpoenas are signed by Joseph McDonald, Deputy Attorney General and Chief Prosecutor. Lotte DFS and the Guam International Airport Authority were all ordered to bring any and all documents in connection with the litigation over the award of the concession space at the airport. The subpoenas are attached to a 72-page declaration filed September 12th by airport attorney Genevieve Rapadas. When asked if the subpoenas were in reference to an ongoing investigation of a criminal nature, Rapadas responded yes. However, she told the Guam Daily Post that she did not know whether there are any specific targets of the investigation and who they might be. The government of Guam will need to borrow another $23 million to complete the construction of a 3rd cell at the Luzon landfill and fund the post-closure maintenance costs at the now closed and capped former ORDOT dump. In a 6-page letter filed by the federal receiver, GBB, Principal Associate David Manning cites unexpected costs for the gas mitigation project required at the old ORDOT dump, which is needed to control the emission of residual gases, plus an unanticipated increase in the cost of constructing a new cell at the landfill in Luzon. Manning said the proposed loan would bridge the gap and would not require an increase in trash disposal fees for customers. We'll have more news after this.
Honolulu, Seattle, LA, Vegas, Chicago, New York. With your first Hawaiian Bank United Mileage Plus credit card, you can save 10% on United flights to these great cities and anywhere else in the U.S. Book your tickets at the United City Ticket Office, talk to your travel agent, or go to united.com and use promo code FHB18U. Visit FHB.com/United Fair Sale 18 for offer details and restrictions. Terms and conditions apply. First Hawaiian Bank, member FDIC.
Fuso trucks are sold, rented, and serviced exclusively on Guam by Morico Equipment. Available in van body, reefer body, freezer body, or flatbed designs. Fuso trucks specialize in the smaller delivery and service market. Perfect for business on Guam. Serviced by qualified technicians. Fuso trucks are part of the Daimler Truck and Freightliner truck family. Sales, rental, parts, service, and fully maintained lease finance from MoricoEquipment.com. Call Morico on Ipao Road at 649-1946.
11 minutes past 6 a.m. here at The Point. Another 7,000 tax refund checks will be mailed out Monday, totaling $15 million. That comes on the heels of this past Monday's release of $35 million in refund checks to 15,000 Guam taxpayers. The governor's office announcing this latest release of refunds will cover error-free returns filed through April 16th. That satisfies the court-ordered mandate to pay out all error-free returns owed island taxpayers by October 15th. The sudden flood of refunds is due to the arrival of the Section 30 funding last week, which amounted to $77 million. $50 million of that amount has now been used to pay refunds. Another $19.8 million went to pay the debt owed to the investors who bought Guam bonds. And that leaves just $7 million left in Section 30 funding. In a statement announcing the refunds release yesterday, Governor Eddie Calvo said that in 2011, his administration inherited a deficit of unpaid tax refunds of nearly $300 million, but he said he has kept his commitment to pay refunds in a timely manner, and he criticized lawmakers for blocking his efforts to borrow from the bond market to pay out the refunds even sooner. An anonymous tip, as well as a pending criminal case, led to the arrest of two suspects in Monday's robbery at a Tumon jewelry store at the Outrigger Hotel. 39-year-old Jesse Bailin and 33-year-old Gina Marie Camp Lujan have been arrested on allegations of theft of property, retail theft, and conspiracy. The tip led detectives to Superior Court, where Lujan was scheduled to appear in a separate criminal complaint, and the two suspects were arrested there. The pair were identified from video footage taken by surveillance cameras inside the Silvermania jewelry shop. In the video, store clerks are seen bustling about in response to a number of requests from a man and a woman who asked to see a variety of different pieces of jewelry. When the couple left, some of the jewelry was missing. The police were called. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post. Ray and Mike now with weather.
Well, it's going to be Ray and Mike and Paul now with a look at weather. Thanks very much, Kevin. 6:12 in the morning. Paul from the National Weather Service joining us as we make our way through the Friday before the onset of what I always refer to now as snotty weather. Good morning, Paul. How you doing?
Oh, good morning, Ray. Hop day.
Hop day to you and everybody over at the National Weather Service. I'm glad that you're on board this morning, and maybe you can give me an idea of what's going on with 94W Invest.
Well, it's now a tropical cyclone formation alert, which means that they expect it to be a tropical depression within the next 24 hours.
Interesting.
So
Interesting. So congratulations on the promotion then, I guess.
Yeah. It should definitely be a tropical depression, at least, when it passes somewhat near us.
Any idea on when that might be?
Right now, we're thinking Saturday night, and that's a little more certain than it was yesterday because it's now actually moving.
Mm-hmm. And so you say a tropical depression. What are the weather conditions going to be like tomorrow night?
We're looking for windy and rainy. Not damaging wind, windy.
And about how much rain do you anticipate might be falling with us?
Well, I know I'd said about 2 to 4 inches yesterday. Largely, I'm going to stick with that, although it's possible we could see some local amounts up to 6 inches.
Didn't we get 2 to 4 inches of rain yesterday, didn't we? It seemed to be a whole lot falling on us in the last couple of days. So it doesn't look like it sounds like the same kind of weather we get during the day and some of those thunderstorms and little squalls that come up. That's what it's going to be like on Saturday night, right?
Pretty much. It'll just be much more widespread instead of one little area.
Yeah. All right, I think we got a pretty good idea of what's going to be happening this weekend. Nothing else down there that we need to worry about. Nothing by the Mortlocks and in the Chuk area that we need to worry about for next week, right?
Not yet. Just 94W.
Okay. All right. I just need to get some beach time in, bro.
If it
all right, buddy.
From a tropical depression, it'll be 30W.
30W is
yes.
Okay. All right, Paul. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your view on the screens, and I'm going to run into the weather forecast now.
You bet, Ray.
All right. Have a fantastic weekend. Looks like it's going to be a whole lot less messier than some of us were concerned. All right. So partly sunny today. Isolated showers and thunderstorms. There's northeast winds, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Highs today, 88 degrees. Another heat index today, so it's going to feel like 101 unless you're underneath one of those rain squalls that brushes through here. Lows about 77 degrees, becoming cloudy and windy tomorrow with numerous showers and isolated thunderstorms. There's winds east, 20 to 30 miles an hour, gusting to 40 near showers, and that's going to be turning south by Sunday as the storm makes its way through the Marianas. Highs near 85 degrees over the weekend, and overnight lows 77. Did I catch it all?
For the most part, yeah, that gets it nailed down pretty well. And, yeah, we just got this thing down there. It should swing through, but fortunately looking a lot more favorable for us than it was earlier in the week. So,
I had not reset the satellite imagery, so I've got some new images coming through here. Now Guam about in the center of the screen, and if you're watching on Facebook Live, you can roll over to the right-hand side of the screen and see what looks like now the storm beginning to move and maybe show a little bit more signs of development.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you see there. So you called it. So it should slide past us. Again, the model's showing, the GFS model, pardon me, showing a slightly more organized system, but passing further to the south, maybe by 150 miles or so. If that happens, it'll be just rain. We'll barely even know something's down there. The other model shows a much weaker system coming more through the Marianas, but again, it'll be so weak that it really won't present much of a challenge to us other than rain.
All right. Well, let me scooch the image over just a little bit and take a look at the storm that is now headed towards, where the heck is that?
Well, it's going to go to Okinawa basically and up through Japan. What happened is that system became very strong, and then the steering winds just kind of died out, and so it got stalled there while it waits for another steering mechanism to pick it up. And that's starting to happen now, and it's starting to drift a little bit north, and in the next 24 to 48 hours, it will actually increase speed, turn to the north, and then up to the northeast. It's going to cross a good portion of southern Japan and give them quite a bit of wet weather.
Yeah, well, it looks like it's going to be. Looks like it's going to clip over the top of Taiwan too.
It's actually gonna miss Taiwan.
Really? Okay. All right. So it's going to head north. It's going to go north of northwest. Okay. 6:17 in the morning. That's news and weather together. Brought to you by Bank Pacific, where others put branches, they place roots.
We get it. Gas and utility rates keep rising with no end in sight. But with Double Play from GTA, you can get an extra sweet deal that'll save you extra cash. Sign up today and get 50 megabits per second with fiber home internet, unlimited talk and text, plus 25 gigabytes of wireless data. And new customers get the first month free with no contract. Save over $500 in the first year and get extra with Double Play from GTA. Conditions apply. Visit GTA.net for more details.
No way. Interesting new research from the people that do interesting research. It says most Americans no longer eat 3 meals a day. 3 meals a day, a thing of the past, as nearly 3/4 of Americans no longer eat a traditional breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Research found that the traditional meal plan is now followed by just 27%. So what are we doing? Snack meals. Something like 2 regular meals and then snack meals 3 or 4 times a day, what I like to refer to as grazing.
Yeah, the problem is people are taking their biggest meal as dinner, and that's not a good thing. You don't want to do that.
Because then you don't do anything. You just go to sleep, and the calories and the whatever it sticks in your system. Hey, listen, if you're only going to eat 1 meal a day, make it beef tenactac at King's. That's, you can graze all the rest of the day, maybe some gas station food, something like that. But if you're only going to have the one good meal, make it the one good meal that you're going to get at King's. And today is Friday, so it's beef tenactac for for lunch.
Family Finance, serving the people of Guam since 1959. Now you can start planning for the holidays by getting a personal Christmas loan from $1,000 up to $3,500. Family Finance has 3 convenient locations to serve you. Give them a call in Dededo, 633-4473, Hagåtña, 475-4545, and the Upper Tumon location on the 2nd floor of the Pacific Building at 647-5626. Get your Christmas loans today from Family Finance.
The Ray Gibson Show is brought to you by everybody. We're talking Guam Regional Medical City, first choice for all of your open heart surgery needs. And our friends at American President Lines, APL, are shipping the future, Micronesia Renewable Energy, and, of course, the guys at American Water Tech. Smarter water, better water.
Sometimes a penny saved can lead to much more than a penny earned. With GPA Energy Sense rebate program, the power is yours. Earn money back while saving on your monthly power bill. GPA Energy Sense rebate program will help lower your initial costs when purchasing approved GPA energy efficient appliances and upgrades with monthly savings you can expect. For more Energy Sense saving ideas, visit GuamPowerAuthority.com or like us on Facebook. GPA, bringing energy solutions to you.
Yes, Wendy's new Harvest Chicken Salad truly delivers on all the flavors of fall. In fact, all of the flavors, period. You get the chicken in there, fresh cut lettuce, crisp red and green apples, dried cranberries, and the perfect combination of applewood smoked bacon, and salad. Yes, yes. Rise to the challenge, guys. Crumbled feta cheese and more. Apple cider vinaigrette. Let me just say that word again. Apple cider vinaigrette. Isn't that nice? You get that little tingly feeling in the tongue when I say vinaigrette. It's like magic, isn't it? I can reach through the radio and touch your tongue with mine. Now you're going to make me finish the commercial, aren't you? All right, brown chicken roasted walnuts. You going to be okay in there?
I can't see.
It's getting hot in here. Fall for the new Harvest Chicken Salad from Wendy's. Now that's better.
The Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now. 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
I think I could have gotten away with that at my old job. You know, just the connection in such a short amount of time between the words tongue and walnuts. You know, it's just about the proximity of that language there. 6:21 in the morning. Welcome to the Ray Gibson Show on 93.3 The Point. My name is Ray Gibson. Great to have you here and along for the ride this morning, and saddled up with my very close, very dear personal friend, Michael Knight, answers the phone and keeps track of weather and tropical disturbances that are out there. And like I said, our little 94W got an upgrade now. Looks like it's a tropical depression. Is that what it is?
Well, it will be. What happened is JTWC has issued tropical cyclone formation alert. So now the chances are high. Yesterday it was medium.
Right.
So that basically means now they've categorized it as a high chance of development within the next 24 hours.
All right. And so, but it doesn't look like it's going to be anything that's going to molest us around here. The news that we get is from the Guam Daily Post, as read and narrated by the amazing Kevin Kerrigan. Good morning, Kevin. How you doing there, buddy?
All right. Waiting for the rain.
Well, you know, I'm waiting to find out. You've got a really, really interesting story in the front page of today's Guam Daily Post, and that's why they put it there, because it is interesting. Airport boss subpoenaed as part of a criminal investigation. And there's some revelations.
It was more than the airport boss. It was DFS, Lotte, and the airport.
So they're looking for everybody and all the paperwork that is associated with this Lotte duty-free case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting, huh?
Well, you and I have been following this case since the very, very beginning. And we know a lot of the players that are involved. We know a lot of the guys at council on both sides of the fence on this. And it is interesting to me that the Attorney General is getting involved.
Yeah.
Because they heretofore, in the 6-7 years that this case has been active, they haven't seemed to have taken any kind of an interest in it.
Well, I think there's been a lot of concern on the part of Gov Guam over the damage being done to the airport.
As a result of the case.
It could be somebody's pretty upset.
Yeah.
And wants to get to the bottom of all this.
The timing is interesting, though. I mean, it's kind of a lame duck Attorney General's office here. And she's going to be out of a job in about 5 months.
Yeah, but the investigators won't go away.
Yeah. I like the way he says, the investigators won't go away. Kevin Kerrigan watching that story, and maybe we'll spend a little bit more time talking about it and who might be involved and who it is that the Attorney General's office is going to be looking at and what they might or might not be able to do with the results of any kind of investigation over the next several months. Anyway, but before we get any further, let me say good morning and hello to everybody lined up on Facebook Live.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name.
Yeah, buddy, I see you there. Lynn, Vince, Borja, Polino, and Bert Manensala says, Hafaday, Ray, and your awesome crew. And you're right, this is an awesome crew. I gotta agree with you there. Maya Relay and Timmy Lahan, nice to see you there. Juanita Machi is waving at me this morning. That's Good Friday, Bert says. Jules Tejano. And, yes, today is a Friday-licious day. I see Ismael Velez is there. Sorry, Velez. I get that name right one of these days. Frank Gumatau. That's Gary Frank Gumatau. Charlie, I'm just so excited to be here. Charlene Marchessault, Lillian Cruz, Shina Muramura, Rico Blancaflor, who says, been watching the SCOTUS hearing, but still tuned into the best talk radio on Island. That's thanks for saying that, Rico. I appreciate that. Good morning, Ray and the crew. Jennifer Ann with the Valentine's eyes, Landon Adlet, and cousin Tommy Barcinas. Friday already. Time to head into a wet weekend. You know, there's that, but we'll see what happens. Because they're not talking about this thing moving in until tomorrow night, right? So that means that there is a possibility, small though it may be, that there could be just enough no clouds up in the sky for maybe a couple of burn marks this weekend, right? Grill marks?
It could be. Today will be your best bet. But, yeah, by tomorrow, maybe in the late morning and early afternoon, things should be okay. But then it'll really start to cloud up towards the end of the evening.
That's what, I'll be out of beer by then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that might actually be the plan. What do we got here? Landon saying, get Brandon on the phone so I know what I'm dealing with at work today. Well, we got Paul on the line. I see Joe Leosialagi and Tom Tahaji, and who else is chiming in this morning? Dora Marie Fergiger and Jeff Ojeda, Jennifer Bedar, and Mers Greeno, Andy Tidinko, Jackie Cabrera out in the States. I see Greg Karabrock, and there's pretty Ashley Calvo Rodriguez checking in again this morning. Mike McCarthy, Nick Perlowski, and Joe Flores. Joe says, good morning, Ray and Kev. Don't forget Mike. Don't leave Mike out because he does the weather and presses the buttons on the commercials that makes me some money here. Judy Shockley is playing around with the radio today. So is Vince Duenas and Amanda Shelton. Good morning, Senator. Good to see you there. Neat saying, buenas. Yeah, finally Friday. Joni and Ken Borja, Bob Lizama, Albert Elias, and Linda Gabriel. Nice to see you there. Who else? Renzo Osborne, Denise Legaspi, Lady D up early this morning. That's nice to see you there and all chimed in with what we're going to be up to. And what are we going to be up to today? I'm thrilled. We've got a number of companies that we are associated with, regular advertisers, and then you've got sister corporations. And among our sister corporations is a place called Beyond the Box in Tumon. Maybe you know the place down at the Pleasure Island area there. And they are effective today. Like as soon as they open their doors, they will be among the first places where you can go on Guam to get your hands on the Apple Watch. And I have an Apple Watch here in this box. They gave it to me yesterday, and I was starting to open it, and they said, no, you open that on the radio. So later in the program, maybe about 7:30, 7:40, if nothing else is breaking news, and maybe I'm going to open this thing up. It is the silver aluminum case Seashell Sport Loop 44mm Apple Watch, and they will be available again as soon as they open their doors at Beyond the Box this morning. I'll get you the prices and tell you about some of the options and things, and then, like I say, unbox this bad boy so you can see all of the cool goodness that's inside of it. Now, I know many of you already have Apple Watches, and I think you're going to like the price that you're going to get on this, and I think you're going to like some of the new features. Speaking of new features, it's possible that there are going to be some new things that get unlocked as you get the new Apple Watch in your hands, and down the road, some new Apple phones. My iPad here in the studio is now asking me for authority to install iOS 12. Yeah, another iteration of the software. What have we got here? Exciting new performance improvements and features For the iPhone and iPad, Photos introduces new features to help you rediscover and share the photos in your library. Memoji, a new, more customizable Animoji, make messages more expressive and fun. Screen Time helps you and your family understand and make the most of the time spent on devices, Siri shortcuts, etc., etc. All right, some cool stuff that is going to be coming out with the new technology and updates to the older technology that you might have in your hand. Today, theme is Deadline Friday. And the reason why today's theme is Deadline Friday is because it's the last day for the tax amnesty. You might recall it wasn't that long ago that they said, all right, we got the tax amnesty, so if you owe us, pay 10%. And we'll talk about arrangements that you can bring so you can get yourself all current with us. And then at the end of it all, just you pay us and you don't have to pay any penalties or interest. And that was a way to infuse how many millions of dollars into the government of Guam?
About $35 million.
So far. And now it's $35 million that they've collected, or is that $35 million that's been...
28 had been collected last time. We'll find out today how much they get.
Yeah, because I know that they were looking at some guys. That's why the deadline has been extended, because there were some people that were able to come up with the 10%, but we're not necessarily able to come up to cough up the rest of it. So they've extended it to today. Hopefully everybody has made the arrangements with banks and lenders and other kinds of financial institutions so that they could come correct with this. I'm hoping that they don't extend the deadline anymore. I think now they've got a pretty good list and a pretty good idea of who it is that owes them money. That is the government of Guam money. That is you and I, and they can start putting together plans to go after them in more of a justice system involvement and get those dollars into the government of Guam so that we might be able to fund some, I don't know, some cool things like school or something like that. Also, last day for open enrollment. So if you were in the government of Guam and you're trying to figure out which of the two insurance companies you're going to be going with, we've got Select Care and then there's Take Care. The other guys have decided to
bailed out.
Yeah, well, they weren't getting paid. At least one of them wasn't getting paid at all. And so
Guam is behind all three, but Netcare's decided they had enough.
Yeah, no mas.
Yeah.
Take our insurance and we'll just deal with the private sector and all of that stuff. A couple more interesting stories that we're going to be playing around with. Don't have too much by political gossip here this morning. Don't have too much by funny memes. Although I will note that there has been a Frank Uggan sighting. There's been a Frank Uggan sighting. If you take a look in this morning's PDN on page 30, there's one of the what is that? The lifestyle section of the newspaper. There's a picture of Frank standing next to a bunch of folks, I guess in the Lions Club or something like that. And I don't know when the picture was taken, pre-primary, post-primary, maybe I'm going to be a write-in guy, post maybe I'm not going to be a write-in guy. I don't know, but he's right there. Members of the Guam Sunshine Lions Club, District 204, as a token of friendship, presented their club pins to special guests from Malaysia and Singapore on September the 18th at the Guam Museum. And there's Frank in the believed colors in the picture. So there you have it. He has not gone completely underground, and will every once in a while come out and check and see if he can see a shadow. That, my friends, is one of the big stories that we've got for you this morning. Is it 6:32? Let's go find some bigger stories from the Guam Daily Post. Here's Kevin Kerrigan.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. In the headlines from the Daily Post this morning, the Guam Election Commission last night said they have no objection with Judge Vern Perez overseeing the civil case filed against the GEC by Ken Leon Guerrero. Leon Guerrero is the spokesman for Guam Citizens for Public Accountability, a political action committee. He's filed a lawsuit asking for a court order to force the Election Commission to count 907 crossover ballots, which GEC considers void. Perez has disclosed several potential conflicts that could disqualify him from the hearing. Leon Guerrero, however, said he has no objection to Perez overseeing the case either. Guam Memorial Hospital has paid the remaining $2 million it owed to the Gov of Guam Retirement Fund. In Superior Court yesterday, GMH attorney Vince Camacho said the hospital made the final payment Wednesday, including penalties and interest. The payment brings the hospital up to date, and that means 22 GMH employees who've been waiting to retire can now do so. The retirement fund had filed suit against GMH in July, directing the hospital to pay the contributions plus penalties. Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority will be accepting online pre-applications for the Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program starting Monday through next Friday. GURA will randomly select 1,800 applicants through an electronic lottery system to establish a 2-year waiting list for Section 8 housing, which provides housing rent vouchers to low-income families. In a release, GURA says that every applicant will have the same chance of being selected, adding that there were applicant supply will not make a difference. For more information about the program, contact GURA directly. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post.
It's 6:34, and that's iConnect time. They're the practical choice. Find out why they're there. They are called the practical choice by dialing 888-8888 a little bit later on this morning. And when they answer the phone, ask them about the great rates for mobile and internet and push-to-talk plans at iConnect.
Hyundai Construction Equipment is sold exclusively on Guam by Morico Equipment, a market leader with proven reliability in large excavators, loaders, and forklifts. Morico Equipment, with 28 years on Guam, offers Hyundai Construction Equipment sales, rental, parts, service, and fully maintained lease finance. Hyundai Equipment is in stock on Guam. Equipment demonstrations are available on request. Contact Morico Equipment on Ipoh Road at 649-1946 or go to moricoequipment.com.
Well, you want an equipment demo, you come by here to the radio station. I'll show you that fantastic generator that we've got out back and the cool ATS, the automatic transfer switch, that everything works perfectly. Kept the lights on here doing Manhunt, and a couple of days after. It was neat. 6:35 in the morning, and what do we got for you traffic-wise? I'm not seeing anything except traffic southbound of the Kmart JFK intersection, because there's JFK today, and that's lots and lots of people are dropping kids off, and there's buses, and there's cars, and all of that stuff. It's either that or there's a lot of, maybe about a big sale going on at Kmart this morning. Might see a little bit of a line of traffic there in Manilao Route 10 as traffic is trying to get into the intersection at Route 15 to get everybody into the GWA and GPA side, as well as Price Elementary and Dairy. What have we got here? Also looking at a little bit of a line of traffic starting to develop that is taking you at the intersection of 4 and 10. So folks, definitely, wait a second. See, I just said there wasn't anything. As I'm talking about it now, seeing a little bit more traffic build up on the way down to Adelup on Marine Corps Drive. So you might see it's not that they're going slow. It's just a lot more traffic in those areas about this time of day. 6:36. That's right now traffic here on The Point.
Family Finance, serving the people of Guam since 1959. Now you can start planning for the holidays by getting a personal Christmas loan from $1,000 up to $3,500. Family Finance has 3 convenient locations to serve you. Give them a call in Dededo, 633-4473, Hagåtña, 475-4545, and the Upper Tumon location on the 2nd floor of the Pacific Building at 647-5626. Get your Christmas loans today from Family Finance.
Morning talk that matters. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now. 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Studio time, 6:37. Yes, the Ray Gibson Show, and really excited about the unboxing event that I get to do this morning. A brand new Apple Watch that I got from the official Apple premium reseller that is Beyond the Box. Doors open at 10. They will start selling today. Prices, like I said, I'll get that to you in just a second. I think they're pretty reasonable. 40-millimeter sizes. We got both sizes, 40-millimeter and 44-millimeter. Space gray, silver, and gold. And if you're thinking, well, wait a second, yeah, I kind of like this Series 3. Those will continue to be on sale at much reduced prices as well. Bigger screen and a lot more technology that is right there. Some great health features, and for those of you that are athletes, runners, folks that work out and stuff, great new ways to keep track of the quality of your workouts and the quality of the results of your workouts. Plus your daily activity and how much are you walking around, and are you spending too much time on the internet and all of that. So we'll talk about those features as well. Good morning, Felly Tan is up this morning. So is Lynn Perez. Nice to see you. Smug Wimp saying, I've been contemplating one for the wife. Never been a better time. And go down to Beyond the Box and tell them I sent you, and maybe they'll give you the Ray Gibson discount. Debbie Wise asking a question this morning, since we're talking about the Attorney General, et cetera. Any more news about the tax situation with MidPAC? There's a story that come up a little bit and went back underground where where it came from. And there's not much, I think, to know. There's been a settlement, and it's under court seal. We don't necessarily get a chance to see what the terms of that settlement happen to be. And how long it's going to go and what they are and that kind of thing. It is possible that there is other information that has leaked out maybe to the Office of the Public Accountability. I know that B.J. Cruz had taken a keen interest in that particular topic while he was still the speaker over at the legislature, and I'm assuming that he is now, as the public auditor, maybe still a little bit.
I'm sure we'll hear more about that.
Interested in what's happening there. We'll see. I got some time lined up with him this morning, so we'll see if he can answer that question. It's a little bit later on. Carmen Leon Guerrero is there. Xavier Atalik is watching on the Facebook Live, as is Jeff Pleadwell this morning. 888-8255. That's 888-8255. In the table of contents and the printed version of the table of contents in the last week or so, is the camera moving around? What happened? Are you moving around? Are you getting seasick?
No, it looks like we're filming an episode of Batman. It's a little sideways.
Oh, yeah. I blame Bob Klitsky.
I was trying to be subtle.
Okay.
There we go.
Facebook Live is, I never used to have to worry about cameras, but apparently now I do. Anyway, so in the printed version of my table of contents for the last week or so, I've had this note and the desire to talk to Heidi Mallendorf about another recycling event that they're going to be doing with GWA. Good morning, Heidi.
Good morning, Ray.
Hey, nice to see you last Friday at the Coast 360 race.
That was hilarious.
That was, dude, that's like the first, I know that was the first time I've been in a fast race all year.
Yeah, that's like my first run since, I don't know, 2015.
Right. And now Heidi, also, there was rumor floating around that there might not be a Cocoa Road race this year, and I'm able to confirm that there will not be a Cocoa half marathon this year.
Well, that run first started when I moved back home. I think I actually won the first year that we had it. I won it. The first female, I came in second. I don't know. I can't remember now. But they started that run because it was a slow season for Guam in that month, and they were trying to develop the sports tourism crowd and get, Guam is much like events in, let's say, Honolulu, where you would have like the Honolulu Marathon, or even
and you get 30,000 people from Japan coming in to race. So you can see why they wanted to do something like that. And I guess the word that I got was that they wanted to reevaluate whether or not it's achieving the goals that they had originally set out, or if it's just kind of a local thing, or has it been eclipsed by another half marathon that goes hand in hand with the Guam International Marathon.
Yeah, well, it's just interesting that was the original I remember that clearly. Jerry Perez telling me, well, we're starting this event because we want to try to, build up the market during that slow time. Well, I guess maybe it's not a slow time anymore. I don't know.
I'm trying to remember with whether it was also a replacement for the Japan Airlines Marathon that used to be conducted annually here. And then they stopped when Japan Airlines had some of those financial issues.
Yeah.
At any rate,
a long time ago. Okay,
but thanks for the tip. That's the story, and I've been telling runners, if they need something to start training for, I guess next month, November might be a good time to start thinking about prepping for the two big marathons that are coming up in 2019.
Yeah, everything I read about now, marathons not really good for you to run, but we can talk about that another time.
Well, let's talk about this. October the 13th, a couple of weeks from where we are now, is going to be another recycle oil event that you guys are doing.
Yes, thanks for promoting that. We always have great turnout. This last one, of course, was right at the start of the storm. So we were able to kind of pick it back up, and it is. I find on these events, the word really gets out. We post it on our social media page. People send it out, so I'm grateful for that because we seem to have, great response. We have had, and it just gets, we fill up more and more drums every time we do this. So we are looking forward to filling up. I believe we're going to have 13 drums. So I'm really encouraging people to come early because I can't go over those 13 drums. GWA pays for those drums. Heidi and Banji don't haul away the drums. So that's beyond my abilities and scope and my desire. So we have a paid professional group that takes care of all that. They're very well trained. They know what they're doing. But as soon as we fill up those 13 drums, we are going to have to close up, and I really do hate to turn people away. So please get there early. I picked up the permit this week or last week, and so it's going to be there on the parking lot side in Paseo. This time it will be down in Agana.
All right. And on the Facebook Live this morning, a question from a listener. What is the recommended way to dispose of cooking oil, vegetable, and animal fats if you're not doing recycling events at Paseo?
Well, I mean, every day you can go when they're open, and they're open, the Harmon Transfer Station is open Thursday through, I want to say, let's see, they only close Tuesday and Wednesday. So Thursday through Monday, 9 to 5. You can take your recycled oil there, up to 15 gallons for free.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right. So
that's one place. But, of course, you know, if you don't even want to do that, which we hope you would, we always just ask that you would use a paper towel, or not throw that oil down the drain, of course. So soak it up in a paper towel or mix it with coffee grounds.
just keep eating it. Just keep using it until you can't use it anymore. Do not pour fats, oils, or grease down the drain. So this the recycling event on Saturday, October the 13th from 8 until 11:30. And the request is that you get there early because there's only 13 drums and they will fill up fast. And hopefully there won't be any typhoon that morning. So no reason for people not to show up.
Yeah, it is motor oil. So we take, you know, your recycled or your old motor oil. We'll take that. But again, this is only for residential. So we're not taking
the businesses.
The businesses.
Yeah,
that they're doing the proper thing. And as I said, Harmon Transfer Station is open 9 to 5 on the weekends. I've gone there on the weekends. There's a line of trucks.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, they do a great job of taking, you know, all kinds of recyclables there. So,
yeah, I don't think I've been there. I've asked you this question before, right? So they're going to take the oils and they're going to stick them in the back end of one of GPA's plants and turn it into electricity, right?
I know that's what you want, and you'll need to talk to my brother Power about that.
Okay. And I also want to give you some kudos. There's a couple of things that I'd completely forgotten existed. One of them, I had to drop off some paperwork. I bought an air conditioner, and I get this rebate, right? And they told me the instructions, and I wasn't paying attention. So I took the rebate paperwork across the street to the Guam Energy office, and a lady over there, you know, the one chews betel nut all the time. She's like, "Oh, take that fan to GPA," and I said, "I don't want to go to the back road." And she says, "Udu, GPA is over there in the GWA building." So, and I went over to the GWA side, filled out some paperwork, real nice security guard. And about 10 minutes later, I was sitting down with Jeannie at Titano, and she took all of my paperwork, and I'm now in the lineup to get a check from the Guam Energy office for $250. And I didn't have to go back road. I was happy.
No, you don't, because we have 3 locations. And Upper Tumon takes Guam Waterworks and Guam Power customer service. Open 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays 9 to 1.
Awesome people, awesome people. So kudos. Tell them I said thanks for the excellent service.
I will.
Okay.
Well, there's no reason to not pay your bill and not be able to get the service you need. And then there's Hulali, which is I believe 8 to 5. And then the main building in Manila is 7 to 5. And
the best part of it is I got to take advantage of the senior citizen line.
Oh my gosh, you're bad, Raymond.
What? I'm over 55 years old. I will avail myself of those services, and seeing as how you're my classmate, I suggest you do the same.
No, that's embarrassing. I never do that when I'm paying my bill.
Hi, girl. Listen, I got to run. 6:48. You have a terrific weekend, and a lot of stuff that she's got lined up for a couple of weekends in front of us. I just got this last night, and I said, dude, I'm gonna hook you up on this. Island Girl Power's Focus on Life Carnival and Open House. See, we've got all kinds of hard news that we can talk about, but everybody's kind of ramping into a weekend, so I want to do some low cost, no cost activities that you can take your family to. But it's not as though you don't have any money. Juanita Blas on the line from Island Girl Power. Good morning.
Oh, wonderful. Good morning.
It is, right? It's Friday, and a lot of tax refunds floating around town. I went to a thing last night, this yoga and wine thing, at a place called Hive, right behind Applebee's. And I got down at 6:30 or something like that, and could not find parking. Just couldn't find. I mean, in the entire the entire GPO and restaurant and Cost You Less, that whole complex area, couldn't find an open spot. Because everybody has got money, so everybody was shopping, and if they weren't shopping, they were eating at one of the 20 eating places down there.
Right. It's crowded everywhere.
Unbelievable. So a lot of dough floating around, $35 million in tax refunds that went out this week, and another $15 million in tax refunds that are going out in the next few days. So there's a ton of money floating around, and so take some of that money and spend it on Island Girl Power.
Absolutely, a fraction of what you guys have. What we really, really want is people to come and support the different groups that are out fundraising with us.
Really? Okay, so it's not just you at this carnival and open house?
The carnival is a Focus on Life carnival. It's a way for us to acknowledge suicide issues on the island and work to highlight life-affirming activities. So the carnival also is more of an outreach to bring families to the center and to see what we have available, what services we have. And we do that by partnering with some amazing groups in the community and, just providing a venue for the community to come and enjoy themselves.
So who's going to be there besides you?
Besides us, it's going to be Fuerten Tautotano and St. John's, the JFK, some athletes. We have different school groups coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking Simon Sanchez has their FEA, the Simon Sanchez Dance Troupe, and we are also working with service learning students from, I believe, 4 high schools. And they're going to be running the booths. Every booth, every activity has a different goal of getting people to just be active, but also have some thought. One of the groups, Gala, is having a trivia booth. The trivia booth, they have some really amazing prizes. We're going to have things like pick a flower. It's an interesting, this little stick game with colors at the end of the stick for the prizes, but the prizes are going to be plants from our garden. We have succulents, we have aloe vera, there's some fortune bamboo, and one of the local medicinal plants. And
you have lemongrass, girl? Is there lemongrass? I need it for my kitchen.
I'm sorry, wow. Thank you for reminding me.
We need lemongrass and more aloe vera.
30 aloe vera plants that are going to be part of the mixture between the raffle and the carnival prizes. So, we stock up on lemongrass because we promote it. It's just something that makes an amazing drink, and you can put it in your food.
Oh, yeah. I learned the magic of lemongrass a long time ago, and I used to have a really, really healthy lemongrass thing, and the guy that cuts the yard killed it. Went over it.
Right.
He says, I finally got that thing out. It took me a half hour with the weed whacker, but I finally got the thing out. I'm like, dude.
Everybody thinks it's Sakati. When they pass by Island Girl Power, they're like, what's all that grass there? No, we're intentionally growing lemongrass. It's not Sakati.
Right. So please don't go after that with the bush cutter. Why don't you? 6:52 in the morning. So 11 until 4 at the Island Girl Power headquarters on Iseng Song Road up in Dededo. It won't cost you anything, but bring a few dollars so you can participate in the games and the raffles and some of the other things they're doing.
It won't cost anything to get in, but we really do need people to spend money on the food and the games. We will have entertainment throughout the day. Coordinated by One Music Guam with Miss Kathy Cruz. So amazing. The Dolls will be performing around lunchtime, and then Capoeira will be performing. Fuerten has a spot on the schedule, Fuerten Tautotano. and some other musicians are signing on board to perform at this. So we really just want people to come and enjoy themselves. We have a goal of distributing, and I think they've already made more than 500, but we have a goal of distributing 500 ribbons, suicide awareness ribbons. And we have a wall that we're featuring where it goes from hurting to healing. And everybody will get a chance to put a beautiful note of encouragement to people that are going through some struggles. So it's really has the aim to be a service learning project for all these students.
Well, I wish you good luck, and I wanted to make sure that I had an opportunity to talk with you about it as people are putting together their plans for the weekend. It looks like we're not going to be getting as much of the hard weather that we were earlier talking about this week. Thank goodness. Get this thing is going to pass by us while it's still kind of a juvenile storm, and go and mature and develop and go molest somebody else's weekend in the next few days. But it should not be a problem for us, and it looks like you're going to be lined up at exactly the right time of day too.
Wonderful. And, just a heads up, we have a thrift store, and we're going to be going through series of sales and clearances and pulling out our Halloween things in the next few weeks. But definitely people will get a chance to use this Carnival Please as an open house. Come and see this center. Come and just take a look at all the amazing things we have going on and ways that your family can either take advantage of the services, free self-defense class, Lord Almighty, or just come and just see the community garden. Oh, I have to say thank you to an amazing group. USS Ronald Reagan came through and totally did a great makeover on the center. Our community garden plots are beautiful and ready for a new group of gardeners. Anyone can come in and get a spot and start growing your own fruits and vegetables.
I like that. And I'm glad that some of the sailors from the Reagan had a chance to get out into the community and deep into the community if they were up at Isangsong, right? 6:55.
Are you kidding? Some of them there were like 20 a day for 3 days. We were blessed.
Oh my God!
We were totally blessed. Yeah, we were blessed by them.
Oh, happy labor! Yeah. Shoshana, Admiral Shoshana, next time you got a bunch of people that got nothing to do, have them call me. Have them call me. I got the machete and bush cutter and a lawnmower. I got all kinds of...
You just got to get your own yard clean. This is for the community, dude. I don't even call them to my house.
I'm in the community. I can use some of that work. 6:56, baby. I got to run. I'll talk to you pretty soon.
Bless you. Take care.
I will. I'll talk to you later. See, and I know better than to ask if they're going to have beer at their open house, because they never do. I probably shouldn't do that anymore. 6:56. Uncle Robert's got the Facebook Live working, and a couple of chiropractors. Greg Miller's there, and Roger Martinez saying, half a day from Palm Springs, California. I like chiropractor doctors. I really do. I like most people and most doctors. But I like chiropractor doctors because they touch you, and sometimes when they touch you, things go crack. And then you know how that is. Have you ever had that adjustment?
You stole my line, man.
I
was going to say, because they know how to crack a joke.
Yeah. Oh no. Have you ever had that procedure?
No, never been to a chiropractor.
Never.
Never felt the need.
Oh, you got to go.
Listen, I can pop my own stuff.
I got a couple of heavy things that I want you to pick up for me.
No problem.
In exactly the wrong way, and then you go and to either one of these guys. Roger's got a great shop, and so's Greg. Go and see these guys, and they anyway. So they do a couple of procedures for you, and among my favorite is the one where they take your head, and they kind of. What's the word I'm looking for?
Well,
give it a sharp little turn. They just kind of twist it.
Yeah, but the lines,
and you feel this pop. Yeah, like when you crack your knuckles. It does the same thing in your neck, and you go, wow, that feels great, and it feels like your head is separated from your body for just a little bit. Yes. Anybody that has had that procedure knows exactly what I'm talking about. That's worth the whole thing. That's what's the deductible? There's no deductible. You got to pay the whole thing. Fine, I'll pay the whole thing. It was worth it just to have gone through all of that. Francie Salas is there on the Facebook Live. Couple of minutes away from the top of the hour, and in the next hour, Jerry Roberts live back in the studio, and we're going to be talking about the extra point. And there's also going to be some conversation about what happened in the market, maybe some interesting stories about where we are. I looked at Tapas late yesterday. traded in. It looks like it had gone down a little bit from the $85 high water mark, but we're seeing all across the country increases in the price of gasoline, and for a lot of different reasons. Just not a whole lot by way of reserves, and doesn't look like there's going to be a whole lot being added to the reserves and inventory anytime down the road.
I forgot to look on my way into work this morning. Same price as yesterday, sir?
I forgot to look as well. If the prices had gone up, there would have been 50 people on Facebook saying the prices have gone up. So it's not as though we could have missed that. You and I might have missed it, but the rest of the community certainly will not. Also, this is interesting because I thought they already had the solicitation out for it, and that the Attorney General's office is looking for it. Was looking at the agreement that they had fired up, but the Guam Fire Department now is soliciting next generation 911 system, an NG 911 system, and they're looking for proposals from qualified and interested offers for the design, installation, operation, and maintenance of a next-gen 911 system. And like I said, I thought they had already had some procurement started on that a little bit earlier, but there's certainly been a lot of attention paid on it. The folks over at the legislature have been looking into it, and no less than the Federal Communications Commission has been looking into it as well. So we'll look into it. Yeah, that's what we'll do. I'm in the media. I can look into things. So I'm going to look into that one in the next couple hours of the program. We'll see what we can shake out. 7 a.m., the radio station is KUSG Hagåtña. My name is Ray Gibson. Kevin Kerrigan with news from the Guam Daily Post. That's ahead. We'll talk about weather, etc., and more as the next hour of the Ray Gibson Show just rolls over this Friday morning.
She says she's sure. He says he's innocent. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh and Christine Ford, who accuses him of sexual assault in high school, appearing separately before the Senate Judiciary Committee.
I'm here today to tell the truth. I've never sexually assaulted anyone. Not in high school, not in college, not ever.
Kavanaugh choking up at times during his testimony and accusing not Ford, but President Trump's opponents of a smear campaign.
But your coordinated and well-funded effort to destroy my good name and destroy my family will not drive me out.
He says he wasn't at the house party Ford has described in the summer of 1982.
I tried to yell for help. When I did, Brett put his hand over my mouth to stop me from yelling. This is what terrified me the most and has had the most lasting impact on my life.
Ford says it was hard to breathe and she was afraid he might accidentally kill her, each taking questions from sex crimes prosecutor Rachel Mitchell instead of Republican senators.
Dr. Ford described an incident where you covered her mouth with your hand. Have you ever covered Dr. Ford's mouth with your hand?
No.
Also highlighting things Ford can't remember, like how she got home that day. Democrats like Mazie Hirono praising Ford as courageous and painting a bigger picture.
Women and men all across America are disgusted and sick and tired of the way basic human decency has been driven from our public life.
Also still demanding an FBI probe, Kavanaugh says any investigation would clear him. Senator Lindsey Graham berating Democrats moments ago.
To my Republican colleagues, if you vote no, you're legitimizing the most despicable thing I have seen in my time in politics.
Calling what's happened a charade and saying he hopes the American people see through it. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Calvo started with a simple handshake. As we celebrate 80 years, we extend a hand to all of you who have taken our hand in trust, to the dreamers and realists, the families, the businesses, the young at heart, and the old souls, our manumku and our children. From all of us to all of you, our deepest, happiest, and infinite thanks.
80 years here for you. 80 years thanks to you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
Grilled salmon, petite sirloin. Can't decide.
What are you doing?
Making my top 10 list of favorite dishes at Ruby Tuesday.
You really need to get a hobby.
But I can't decide. There's no way I can narrow down so many classic dishes to just 10.
Then it's a good thing Ruby Tuesday did it for you.
It's the all-time favorites menu at Ruby Tuesday Guam. We took our most popular dishes and put them on one great menu for only $14.99. Hickory pork chop, Parmesan shrimp pasta, prime loco moco, 10 top sellers at one great price. Pick your favorite for a limited time at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
A tragic end to the search for an autistic boy missing since Saturday in North Carolina.
Gastonia Police Chief Robert Helton says a body found Thursday afternoon is believed to be that of 6-year-old Maddox Rich.
Our community's heartbroken, our searchers, our investigators. This is not the end that we had hoped for.
Ian Rich saying his son ran off from him and a friend at a park Saturday and disappeared before he could catch up to Maddox. Searchers discovering the body about 4 miles away from the park. Rich and his friend searched for Maddox for about an hour before calling 911. Rich saying he didn't see a need to alert police right away because he thought Maddox would quickly turn up. Steve Rappaport, Fox News.
The White House says President Trump has been watching today's Senate hearing. He and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein speaking earlier today and agreeing to postpone the meeting they had planned until next week. Meantime, an unexpected appeal for empathy for the president.
In an interview on Politico's Women Rule podcast, actress and longtime liberal activist Jane Fonda expresses sympathy for President Trump, encouraging critics to try and understand him. While the 80-year-old continues to support political causes which counter the president's agenda, she explains, "I hate what he stands for, what he does, what he says. I don't hate him." The book club star cautions Americans not to let a distaste of one's politics lead them to hatred. She goes on to say there are a whole bunch of Trump voters who we have to open our hearts to and have to understand why they voted the way they did and try to reach them. Adding, part of the problem is that people on our side haven't been talking to them and expressing empathy. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Tesla shares tanking in after-hours trading as the Securities and Exchange Commission files a complaint against CEO Elon Musk, accusing him of false statements about taking the company private. The SEC holding a news conference on that complaint against Musk at this hour. Lisa Brady, Fox News Radio.
Family Finance, serving the people of Guam since 1959. Now you can start planning for the holidays by getting a personal Christmas loan from $1,000 up to $3,500. Family Finance has 3 convenient locations to serve you. Give them a call in Dededo, 633-4473, Hagåtña, 475-4545, and the Upper Tumon location on the 2nd floor of the Pacific Building at 647-5626. Get your Christmas loans today from Family Finance.
Sometimes a penny saved can lead to much more than a penny earned. With GPA Energy Sense rebate program, the power is yours. Earn money back while saving on your monthly power bill. GPA Energy Sense rebate program will help lower your initial costs when purchasing approved GPA energy efficient appliances and upgrades with monthly savings you can expect. For more Energy Sense saving ideas, visit GuamPowerAuthority.com or like us on Facebook. GPA, bringing energy solutions to you.
Fuso trucks are sold, rented, and serviced exclusively on Guam by Morico Equipment. Available in van body, reefer body, freezer body, or flatbed designs. Fuso trucks specialize in the smaller delivery and service market. Perfect for business on Guam. Serviced by qualified technicians. Fuso trucks are part of the Daimler Truck and Freightliner truck family. Sales, rental, parts, service, and fully maintained lease finance from MoricoEquipment.com. Call Morico on Ipoh Road at 649-1946.
The first ever of anything is always special. That's why we're excited about the first ever 2018 Nissan Kicks. The Kicks kicks things up with best-in-class MPG, standard safety technology with automatic emergency braking system, and best-in-class cargo space to meet any lifestyle. Upgrades kicks things up with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and Bose driver headrest speakers. Over 1.4 million colorful options means your Kicks can be a first ever of its kind. The Kicks starts at under $20,000. Visit Nissan Guam for a test drive today. Nissan, innovation that excites.
Get a 20-ounce stainless steel Circle K Coffee Club tumbler. Just stop into any Circle K, sign up for our Power Pass rewards program, and after your purchase of 15 cups of premium coffee, any size, you get your tumbler for free. While supplies last, conditions apply. See store for details. Get a 20-ounce stainless steel Circle K Coffee Club tumbler. Just swipe your Power Pass key fob when you purchase Circle K Premium Coffee, any size. And after 15 cups, you'll get your tumbler for free. While supplies last, conditions apply. See store for details.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. News time here at The Point is 8 minutes past 7 a.m. this Friday morning. I'm Kevin Kerrigan. Here's a look now at some of the top stories from the Guam Daily Post. The Guam Attorney General's office conducting a criminal investigation related to the long-running dispute over the duty-free retail concession contract at the AB One Path International Airport. In late August, subpoenas were sent to representatives of the airport, DFS Guam, and Lotte Duty Free Guam. All three parties ordered to appear in Superior Court before a grand jury on September 14th and testify in connection with what their subpoenas said is an ongoing investigation. The subpoenas are signed by Joseph McDonald, Deputy Attorney General and Chief Prosecutor. Lotte, DFS, and the Guam International Airport Authority were all ordered to bring any and all documents in connection with litigation over the award of the concession space at the airport. The subpoenas are attached to a 72-page declaration filed September 12th by Airport Attorney Genevieve Rapadas when asked if the subpoenas were in reference to an ongoing investigation of a criminal nature. Rapadas told the Guam Daily Post yes. However, she said she did not know whether there are any specific targets of the investigation and who those targets might be. Another 7,000 tax refund checks will be mailed out on Monday, totaling $15 million. That comes on the heels of this past Monday's release of $35 million in refund checks to 15,000 Guam taxpayers. Governor's office announcing this latest release of refunds. They say it'll cover error-free returns filed through April 16th, thus satisfying the court-ordered mandate to pay out all error-free refunds owed to island taxpayers by August 15th. By October 15th, that is. The sudden flood of refunds is due to the arrival of the Section 30 funding last week, which amounted to $77 million. $50 million of that amount has now been paid for tax refunds. In a statement announcing the refunds, Governor Eddie Calvo said that in 2011, his administration inherited a deficit of unpaid refunds of nearly $300 million, but he said he has kept his commitment to pay refunds in a timely manner. He also criticized lawmakers for blocking his efforts to borrow from the bond market to pay out those refunds even sooner. We'll have more news after this.
We get it. Gas and utility rates keep rising with no end in sight. But with Double Play from GTA, you can get an extra sweet deal that'll save you extra cash. Sign up today and get 50 megabits per second with fiber home internet, unlimited talk and text, plus 25 gigabytes of wireless data. And new customers get the first month free with no contract. Save over $500 in the first year and get extra with Double Play from GTA. Conditions apply. Visit GTA.net for more details.
It's important to have claims process that works for you. At Guahan Insurance Services, we make things simple and convenient. Same door you walk in to purchase your insurance is the same door you open to file your claim. We can't pretend that the car insurance claims process is fun, but we can promise a hassle-free and speedy recovery without any runarounds. For your home, auto, and business insurance, visit us at the Camacho Landmark Center on Marine Corps Drive in Tamuning. Don't forget to like us on Facebook or give us a call at 475-1162 or text 929-SAVE. That's 929-7283.
11 minutes past 7 a.m. here at The Point. Guam Memorial Hospital has now paid the remaining $2 million that it owed to the GovGuam Retirement Fund. The payment was made Wednesday. It brings the hospital up to date, and that means 22 GMH employees who've been waiting to retire can now do so. The Retirement Fund filed suit against GMH in July, seeking an order to force GMH to pay the contributions plus penalties and interest. Now that GMH is paid up, GMH attorney Rachel Taimano Azuzu asked the judge to dismiss the case. However, Retirement Fund attorney Vince Camacho countered that this isn't the first time GMH has fallen behind in retirement fund payments. He wanted to continue the case. Judge Vern Paris asked both sides to submit briefs on that issue by today before deciding whether to dismiss the case or not. Government of Guam will need to borrow another $23 million to complete the construction of a third cell at the Luzon landfill and fund the post-closure maintenance costs at the now-closed and capped former ORDOT dump. In a 6-page letter filed by the federal receiver, GBB, Principal Associate David Manning cites unexpected costs for the gas mitigation project that's required at the old dump, which is needed to control the emission of residual gases. He also cited unanticipated increase in the costs of constructing a new cell at the Luzon landfill. Manning said the proposed loan would bridge the gap and would not require any increase in trash disposal fees. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post. Ray and Mike, take a look at weather.
I got partly sunny skies today with isolated showers, then thunderstorms, northeast winds 10 to 15 miles an hour, daytime highs 88 degrees. That's what the thermometer says, but it'll feel warmer. The max heat index today hovering around 101 degrees. Overnight lows should be 77 or so, becoming cloudy and windy tomorrow. This is the forecast into the weekend now. Numerous showers and isolated thunderstorms as 94W, should be a tropical disturbance, is going to be making its way through the Mariana Islands. Winds out of the east 20 to 30 miles an hour, sometimes gusting up to 40 miles an hour if we get into some of those big showery, squally things, right?
Yeah, it should be noted that the storm is looking like it's going to pass to our south, but that puts us on the dirty side of the storm. So we'll be getting the most effect out of it, whatever that may be.
All right, and expect the winds to go southerly by Sunday, highs near 85 degrees, and overnight lows of about 77 degrees if possible. Maybe, I don't know, the sun could be out long enough to work on your tan over the weekend. Sunset tonight, 6:13. Sunrise tomorrow morning about 10 after. That's news and weather together here on The Point.
UFC 229 on Sunday, October 7th. The notorious Conor McGregor returns to retake the UFC lightweight title from unbeaten champion Khabib Nurmagomedov in the main event of UFC 229. Pre-show starts at 10 a.m. and the fight starts at noon. Use your remote or call 688-CARE to order this pay-per-view event on Channel 401 or in HD on Channel 402. UFC 229 on Docomo Pacific is brought to you by TGI Fridays.
Now, what is the name of the fighter he talks about in that? He says his name, and it sounds like somebody Magundagung.
Conor McGregor.
No, that was the other guy. There's
After listening to the spot, I was glad he's the one that had to say it.
Can you play it again? See if we get the Docomo people are, yes, he can. He should play it again. We said, yes, keep playing that until we get the guy's name right. All right, well, you go ahead and cue that up. I'm going to be talking about beef tenactac. It's Friday over at King's, and that's the big lunchtime special. They got all kinds of great daily specials for you. Salisbury steak on Monday, and there's beefsteak tomorrow, Tuesday, and pork sinigang on Wednesday. Yesterday was meatloaf, and of course today is Friday, so there's beef tenactac. And if none of that rings, none of that making you salivate, then think about what is it they have there that you are also going to like. Pick 2 and pick 3 combos. I think we've all by now memorized the King's menu by heart, so I know you're going to find something you like. Did we get it queued up? No. So it's $75,000 worth of automation technology in there, and we can't just drag it and drop it over. Okay, no, we'll save it for later because I do want to hear that guy's name again one of these days. All right, go lunch at King's.
Hyundai Construction Equipment is sold exclusively on Guam by Morico Equipment, a market leader with proven reliability in large excavators, loaders, and forklifts. Morico Equipment, with 28 years on Guam, offers Hyundai Construction Equipment sales, rental, parts, service, and fully maintained lease finance. Hyundai Equipment is in stock on Guam. Equipment demonstrations are available on request. Contact Morico Equipment on Ipoh Road at 649-1946 or go to moricoequipment.com.
Cool. 7:16, the Ray Gibson Show brought to you by a bunch of people. First Hawaiian Bank, where it all starts with yes. And the guys over at Micronesia Renewable Energy, never been a better time to go solar. Talk to them about putting those things up on your roof and making your own. You can become your own GPA. Ask them about the battery systems that are coming in that might allow you, depending on what your usage is, to be able to disconnect completely from the grid. Wouldn't that be cool? What else do they got? Who else bringing you the program? American President Lines, they're shipping the future. American WaterTech, smarter water, better water, and Guam Regional Medical City, the first choice for all of your open heart surgery needs.
UFC 229 on Sunday, October 7th. The notorious Conor McGregor returns to retake the UFC lightweight title from unbeaten champion Khabib Nurmagomedov in the main event of UFC 229. Pre-show starts at 10 a.m. and the fight starts at noon.
Who is
Use
this?
your remote or call 688.
Never mind. We already heard that part. Who's the guy? And I'm not making fun of his name in case it's like a local guy that's going to come over here and kick my butt. I've never heard that name before, and I'm kind of curious. Remind me to ask the guy, Blake Watson, when he gets in the studio about all of that stuff. 7:17. Is there more? Or can I just roll into the rest of it now? Yeah.
Ray Gibson brings you closer to the action. Any speaker, anytime. Morning talk that matters.
Okay, and here's how you spell his name.
Go.
N-U-R-M-A-G-O-M-E-D-O-V.
You say it.
No, thanks. I don't.
What?
Nurmagomedov.
Go with that first name, man. Never mind that.
We show up at that fight.
Yeah.
I might just watch that fight just so I can get the pronouncer on the name here. 7:18 in the morning. Yes, the talk that matters here. That's what we're doing here. Ismail saying we were talking about chiropractors in the last hour, and Ismail saying got an appointment at 9 o'clock with Dr. Miller. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Make sure he does that neck poppy thing. I see Tricia Beneventi in there, and who's Jackie Cabrera. Yes, chiropractic care does rock. Corina Gutierrez, Ludwig, Tedo from Durant, Sue Lee is there. Margaret Agulto, great to see you, sweetie. Give your mom a big hug and a kiss from me, would you? Frank Blas Jr. Are we writing? Is it right in or right off, Frank? Come on, that's it. That's the phraseology that Roy Respicio, your former seatmate over at the legislature, was talking about in his editorial in the Guam Daily Post yesterday. Right in or right off. 38 days between now and the general election, and I don't know, Darrow, if Jeremy and the guys over in the Republican Party haven't called you yet, then it probably isn't going to happen by now. Did you send them WhatsApp? Do we have blue check marks on that? They've seen it, right? They're just not responding. Is that what's going on? I see Bruce Dinsman is there, and Desiree Braga, and Big Sister Shelley. Good morning. Been watching the Kavanaugh thing all night. I've been hearing the clips that are getting played on the Fox Live newscasts and everything. It looks like they've you know what? Our drama department here in our government of Guam has a lot to learn from the drama departments in Washington D.C. I think everybody is rolling around and everybody's crying and there's finger pointing and all of this other stuff. So you keep an eye on that, and for me, I think I'm just going to sit out and wait for the next Supreme Court nominee. Isn't that always the way it works? First guy never gets love. First guy never gets love. They'll throw in somebody in the next week or two that everybody will enjoy. 7:19, time to take a look at what happened on the markets. And the people over at Fox News were disappointed that a fairly strong rally wasn't able to hold. But all the markets managed to close in the green. S&P 500 at 2914. They're up by 8 points. NASDAQ at 8,041, up 51 points from where they were yesterday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average at 26,439. FTSE is up. The Nikkei is down. Hang Seng is down. The Shanghai Index also down. The DAX is up by about 50 points. Looking at the commodities here, oil at $72.19. I got gold trading at $1,186 for those of you that are interested in that. And for the one or two people listening that might be thinking, hey, man, I'm putting all my money in silver. Is there anything happening with silver? No, nothing ever happens with silver. Silver's $14 and $2.75. 27 cents is what you can get for an ounce of silver these days. Oil commodity, $72.22, like I said, for West Texas crude. And I got Tappas trading at $83.87, which is lower than $85.29, which is a good thing. But my recommendation is to still put some gasoline in the car. I did yesterday. I needed to. I was on empty, but I put some in just in case. And I tell you what, $35 worth of gas, barely got it to halfway on the thing, which is kind of spooky. Kind of spooky. Jerry Roberts making noises with his throat in the extra. This place will, from time to time, sound like that scene in Blazing Saddles.
Oh yeah, that one.
Anyway,
I was going to say an ear, nose, and throat clinic, but
I'm going to go with what he said.
Since we're in the business portion of the program, a note here that I got from my friends at Mount Carmel School, and they are the scene of the Israel School of Business. They're conducting their 4th annual Business Fair, an event to showcase over 100 business presentations. This is going to take place on Friday, October the 5th, from 9 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon at the Mount Carmel School Phoenix Hall. Middle school students there worked with their teachers organizing the fair, continuing a great and fun method of further developing students' interest in owning their own businesses. The event gives students the opportunity to research and present information about their prospective businesses while showcasing their hard work.
What a fabulous idea.
Various local business professionals and leaders will be there to judge these presentations. Judges will select 12 winning student projects and steal the ideas for their own businesses. Welcome to the working world, kid.
Hey, wait a second, mister. That's my idea.
Yeah. Did you see me sign a non-disclosure agreement? Huh? Did you put copyright notices on?
No, wait.
What?
I know I'm going to be controversial, but it's not stealing. It's the Chamorro Borrow, right?
I'm just saying.
I've heard the term.
And it ain't just here.
Yeah.
This happens everywhere.
Mount Carmel School will announce winners in the event day at 2:30 p.m. at the Phoenix Hall. So everybody get down there and get lined up and see what these kids are. Listen, I did this a few weeks ago at the University of Guam. I was invited to sit down with a bunch of students. They were the edges of their program, and they had all come up with tabletop business ideas. Okay. And there were some really good ones, and some that were almost completely fleshed out. But the one that I had the most fun with was this outfit, and I really encouraged them to take it from tabletop idea to actually going and seeing, because they could do it without a whole lot of upfront money, right? Going and taking a business. What they wanted to do was, you've been in the real estate game, you know how it is. You got a business, you got an apartment, and you want people to be able to show it. Used to be you could do a recording, and as people were walking through the rooms, the recording would come on and tell you everything about, here's the bedroom, spacious, and here's the kitchen with brand new accoutrements and things like that. Their idea was to do the same thing with videos, and I thought, well, you're going to do this with videos. You might want to think about doing 360-degree virtual tours. You can now do that kind of technology, and if you're going to take that step, then you know what, you might as well think about stepping outside and doing all kinds of different things. Events, take your 360-degree camera and your acoustic equipment, your microphones and stuff, and go to weddings, go to business shows, go to funerals, and take this information, stream it live, or copy it and just get in the content creation business. And then their heads exploded.
Good ideas.
And I'm thinking, just because the kids they're using technology in so many different ways that you and I never
And technology
dreamed of.
is dirt cheap today.
Yes, and memory's cheap, and cameras are cheap, and all of that stuff. So it will be interesting to see some of the ideas that these kids come up with and then steal them. At any rate, 7:24. Jerry Roberts in the studio, and it must be a time to start thinking about the extra point.
Guam's housing crisis has been in the news again recently. If we're going to find ways to have truly affordable housing for Guam citizens, we need to put a laser focus on the problem. That's what's up today on the Extra Point. Fact number one, when the term affordable housing is tossed around these days, it's accompanied by a number north of 300,000, sometimes 350 and even 400,000. Newsflash, the majority of people in the lower middle or middle income brackets don't find that to be affordable. It requires a 20% down payment with conventional financing. Well, I took third grade math. That's 60, 70, 80,000 or more, and most people can't come up with that for a down payment. Further, in a few years, when thousands more military personnel are living here, $300,000 is going to be remembered as the good old days of bargain-priced housing. Fact number two, renters are being squeezed by the combination of Section 8 vouchers and the much higher military allotments. If you don't qualify for either of those, it's very hard to find affordable rental units. Fact three, the problem is not going away anytime soon, and our current crop of politicians don't have a clue on how to solve it. Now, that needs to be said, and believe me, I pray that a whole bunch of them call me out on this and show us, you and me, solid plans for a solution. No empty promises, I mean real plans. Sadly, I don't think they're the ones who will figure it out. I know they all mean well and would love to come up with the answer, but this is going to take something different. Let me fall back on my go-to guy, Einstein. He said, only unconventional solutions will solve problems created by conventional thinking. That's worth repeating. Only unconventional solutions will solve problems created by conventional thinking. The ideas and methods of the past aren't going to produce affordable homes and rental units, but I can almost guarantee that those who aspire to elected office will trot them out with a new coat of paint and try to sell them. 3 months ago on this program, I mentioned a new technology, 3D concrete printing, where computer-based equipment enables you to put together a small house in a single day, not months, at under 10% of the current price per square foot. That's not a number I made up. They claim their prototype houses already built are $10,000 for 650 square feet. Double that, and you get $20,000 for 1,300 square feet. Now that is affordable. No mortgages, none of that. That's all. That's it. Turnkey. That's the price. Once this system gets going, it will offer houses of all types and sizes. Initial projects are slated for El Salvador and the Netherlands, and China is also using the technology. How about a project right here in Typhoon Alley? Maybe that would help them sell homes to other folks who often are in the path of destructive storms. There could also be other innovative tech solutions, and we need to follow every possible lead. And we need to start following them now if we're going to solve this critical issue. Some 10 years ago, Directions Magazine covered this issue, predicting where we were headed. Now, what have we done in the last decade to make serious improvements? I don't want to imagine what Guam will look like if we go another 10 years with no real answers. I can tell you this, it won't be pretty. So as the man once said, failure is not an option. That's the extra point. Get out there and make something good happen today. For 93.3 and The Ray Gibson Show, I'm Jerry Roberts.
Lim Tiaco chiming in on the Facebook Live, on our way to becoming like Hawaii's affordable housing crisis, and take the numbers that you were talking about here, $300,000,
$400,000.
Yeah, that's a fixer upper out in the slums of Hawaii right now, and that's what I agree, we're heading off in that direction. An interesting conversation that I had with Carlos Camacho about a week and a half ago when we were talking about affordable housing here on Guam, and you're right. Yeah, I think you framed the issue absolutely correct. It's not just poor people that are having a hard time finding housing. We have working couples, working families. Husband works and mom works, and they're scraping every dime they've got together, and they still can't make that down payment. So if need be, we got to find ways to help them bridge that gap while they still can.
But there needs to be a buffet of ideas. Now, some of that can be now. Conventional thinking is we need to have like the old Gita bond from years ago, which was like $3,000 or $5,000, and you're in to a house. There was that. Well, maybe that's one idea, but you're still at $300,000 and $400,000.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of Chamorro Land Trust lots out there that people are going to want to do something with. If you have a 99-year lease for $1 a year, are you going to want to put a $400,000 or $500,000 home on that thing?
Probably not.
Probably not. So maybe something like 3D concrete printing, where you can put a $20,000 or $30,000 home on that
for a fraction of the construction cost.
For a fraction of the cost, have it done in 2 or 3 days. Then you finish the inside. That might make more sense. I don't know if this technology is viable in the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, but somebody, some politician, some entrepreneur, somebody perhaps in the construction business who's a small contractor, some people need to go and get online and find a company called Icon in Austin, Texas. They need to find the people doing the thing in the Netherlands, also in China. Go and Google 3D concrete printing and find these people and find out where their technology is. Are they a startup? Are they looking for funding? Is it going to be viable in the next 3 to 5 years? Because in the next 3 to 5 years, something is going to happen in Guam for sure. NCS.
Yeah.
And about 5,000 Marines and their families are going to be here. So when that happens, the housing market explodes, and it's going to be much, much tighter. And if we haven't figured out a way for the people at risk now to have a solution, what it's going to be like then is going to be just unbelievable.
Yeah, well, the worrisome thing to me is that we'll see another brain drain on that. I think people will file Chapter 777 and get on an airplane, hightail it to San Diego, hightail it to Bremerton, Washington, any number of places, North Carolina, any number of places where you're on the grow and you've got access to what might be better and more affordable housing out there. Debbie Wise this morning saying Habitat for Humanity can be part of the solution. As I said, there's a couple of conversations that I've had with Carlos Camacho, and at some point we'll get him into the studio so that he can talk about a couple of plans that he is working on now. Not necessarily on the construction side; he's done some of that already, but he's got a couple of financial vehicles that he would like to talk about. One of them is a mortgage credit, and then another one is the FHA's energy efficient mortgage that they've got out there. And those might be ways that these young families, these starting families, might be able to bridge that gap between what they've got, what they can get credit for, and what the bank is willing to let them get away with.
Absolutely. Now, maybe the 3D concrete printing, if it becomes viable, is good for one group of people. And maybe the mortgage credit is for another group of people.
Yeah.
And if you have enough ideas out there that make sense and are workable, Well, everybody can get something.
The guys at Guam Housing, and I've done interviews with them in the past, and one of the things that we think about is the cost of construction, as you brought up this morning, is, you know, we make everything out of rebar and concrete around here for a lot of reasons. Number one is because the banks will want to make sure the building will withstand a typhoon. The insurance companies want it. It's got to be insurable, is the deal.
And
but there's
permittable.
there's new technology now that's not necessarily all concrete and rebar that is insurable. And that is less expensive than our traditional method. So there's all of those things. Every once in a while there'll be a housing show where they'll bring out some of this technology. But I don't know if there's enough people that are willing to take the chance on building with this technology to make the economy of scale work for them.
It comes down to the money factor. Can you make a buck with it?
Yeah.
If you can, then somebody will take a flyer on it. The one thing about the concrete printing, and I'll get off that thing.
No, I like it. I like the idea.
Okay, is that the state of Texas approved it, and they have hurricanes in the Gulf. Okay, they have tornadoes. They approve this technology. These people have a permit to go build it. So that's one thing to think about, is that state said yes, and their insurance people apparently have fallen in line, and they're going to figure a way to do it. If they can do it, we can do it. Someone needs to get online and go check them out.
Booney Dog says, how quickly we forget Fatty Mae and Jenny Mae and what's the one from the Beverly Hillbillies?
Ellie Mae.
Ellie Mae. I'm sorry. It's one of my first TV crushes. There we go. 7:33. That's Jerry Roberts and the extra point here this morning. You have a fantastic weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Make something good happen. Headlines with Kevin Kerrigan coming up next.
Honolulu, Seattle, LA, Vegas, Chicago, New York. With your First Hawaiian Bank United Mileage Plus credit card, you can save 10% on United flights to these great cities and anywhere else in the U.S. Book your tickets at the United City Ticket Office, talk to your travel agent, or go to united.com and use promo code FHB18U. Visit FHB.com/United Fair Sale 18 for offer details and restrictions. Terms and conditions apply. First Hawaiian Bank, member FDIC.
KFC has finally answered the world's most important question. What came first, the chicken or the egg? And the answer is both. Introducing KFC's KFC AM, their new Southern and local-inspired breakfast. AM-loaded platter with chicken fried rice, waffles, and Colonel's chicken congee. KFC also has your all-time favorites, AM chicken and egg wraps, Southern biscuit and sausage sandwich, and hash browns. So for finger-licking good mornings, AM will never be the same at KFC. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
7:34 coming up. I have the pleasure here, ladies and gentlemen, of being one of the first guys on Guam to open an Apple Watch box. That's what I'm holding right now. I got this from Beyond the Box. They're going to open their doors at 10 o'clock, and you'll be able to buy one and open it up right there in the store and get the thing working with your particular iPhones. The Series 4 are on island. They are available for you, again, at Beyond the Box at Pleasure Island after 10 o'clock this morning. You're going to love the prices. You're going to love all of the features that come with these. If you're already an Apple Watch person, I think you're going to go nuts with this new one. And if you're not an Apple Watch person, I think you're going to go nuts anyway. And the question that people are asking me, are you going to get to keep the watch? The answer is yes, I get to keep the watch because I'm the morning guy on the radio station, so I get to keep this. But the only handicap that I've got here is I don't have an iPhone, so I don't know if once I get it Beyond the Box, will I be able to make it work?
You know, when are you going to start working deals where we get cars?
I'm working on it.
Asking for a friend.
Working on it. 7:36 in the morning. Time for headlines from the Guam Daily Post. Here's Kevin Kerrigan.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. In the headlines from the Daily Post this morning, two men, one of whom brandished a machete, have been accused of robbing two women walking on a sidewalk Tuesday in Mighty. 30-year-old Red 12 Tufong was charged with 2 counts of robbery and 2 counts of robbery as a second-degree felony, both with special allegations of possessing a deadly weapon. Also charged was 30-year-old Ete Atipas Albert, who's facing allegations of robbery and criminal mischief as well. According to the complaint, officers responded to the robbery incident about 6:30 on Tuesday. One of the victims told police that Tufong pulled out a machete from the back of his waistband and pointed it at her and the other woman, asking if they had money or beer. The women knew both of the men, reported the incident to police, who arrested both of the suspects. An anonymous tip, as well as a pending criminal case, led to the arrest of two suspects in Monday's robbery at a Tumon jewelry store at the Outrigger Hotel. 39-year-old Jesse Bellin and 33-year-old Gina Marie Lujan have been arrested on allegations of theft of property, retail theft, and conspiracy. A tip led detectives to Superior Court, where Lujan was scheduled to appear in a separate criminal complaint. The two suspects were arrested there at court. The pair were identified from video footage taken by surveillance cameras inside the Silver Mania jewelry shop. In the video, store clerks are seen bustling about in response to requests from a man and a woman who asked to see a variety of different pieces of jewelry. When the couple left, some of the jewelry was missing, and the police were called in. The Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority next week will be accepting online applications for the Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program. Applications are being accepted Monday through Friday. They'll only be accepted online, not in person. GURA will randomly select 1,800 applicants through an electronic lottery system to establish a 2-year waiting list for a Section 8 housing voucher, which provides housing rent vouchers to families in need. In a release, GURA says that every applicant will have the same chance of being selected, adding that where or when applicants apply will not make a difference. To file an application, go to www.gura.org. For more information, you can contact GURA directly. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post.
It's 7:38. That's iConnect time. Find out why they are the practical choice. Give them a ring at 888-8888. Ask them about internet plans and mobile plans and even push to talk from iConnect.
Attention GovGuam employees. Open enrollment for GovGuam health insurance plans begins on September 17 through the 28th. With a wide range of healthcare offerings, Take Care's benefit plans allow members access to more than 120 medical providers, 40 dental providers, and 20 pharmacies in the region. Get access to 19 fitness partners, including the largest fully functioning fitness center in Hagåtña and Dedido. As Guam's leading healthcare provider, our commitment to your health has never been stronger. Take Care. Our island, your health plan.
7:39 in the morning, and let me see here. Cold Stone Creamery is inviting you to try a couple of great new flavors. They have their banana bread battered ice cream and sea salt caramel ice cream made with, yes, Ghirardelli. That's all you need to know. It's Ghirardelli, so you know you're going to love it. They've got the salt caramel sauce from Ghirardelli, and that's going to make it taste great. Cold Stone Creamery celebrating 30 years of the ultimate ice cream experience.
Always here to help you. This island is our home. Through the years, we've been a friend to the neighbors we have known. Now we're banking on the future. Services that you choose. Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots.
Pastrami, that's another flavor over at Cold Stone. Just what? But if if they did it, it would be awesome. So I want you to check them out. Not Cold Stone, but Subway, because Subway's got the hot pastrami actual sandwich that they're making up for everybody. And the conversation with Simon Sanchez about 100 important things yesterday. But it started with, I like it when they have hot pastrami at Subway too. You should roll in there and try it before Simon and I eat the whole batch. It's the pastrami flavored meat that goes on your favorite kind of bread, and you can put your favorite condiments on top of it, and just go away and be happy with the world with a hot pastrami sandwich from Subway.
This GovGuam open enrollment season, GRMC recommends selecting Calvo Select Care to ensure the best care for your family, especially your children. We all hope for good health, but should an emergency arise, it's good to know your child is fully covered to receive the best medical care using the latest technology available. Your child deserves the best. Calvo Select Care is the only insurance plan that includes GRMC for GovGuam employees and retirees. GRMC, where patients are partners.
In 19 minutes, it'll be 8 o'clock in the morning, and haven't had the chance to take a look at the traffic, so it's good that I do now. And it is moving in all of the usual spots, 8, 10, and 16, and up Route 10 and on to Route 4. Things seem to be working there. Don't see too much happening in front of the Naval Station in Sumai or Navy Hospital or Anderson Air Force Base, for that matter. So I think it should be fairly easy for you to get under those facilities today. Traffic moving out of Dededo and out of Jigo into Dededo, beginning to slow down a little bit just before you get to Waiseng Song. Eventually, you'll get to the intersection of 1 and 3, and traffic beginning to slow down around the Ukadu area right now, just at that time of day. So that's what's going to happen. 7:42 Friday morning traffic here on The Point.
Cheese curls and hot sauce, pantosta and coffee. Great alone, but better together. Here's another perfect pair for you. Docomo Pacific has created the Better Together bundle, combining 2 great services for one low price. Get unlimited local talk, text, and 20 gigs of data, plus unlimited home internet speed up to 20 megabits for $109 per month. You also get free installation and a Galaxy A8 Plus when you sign up today. Mobile plus online from Docomo Pacific. Better together. Some conditions apply. Call 688-KRC store for details.
Mm-hmm. 743-888-8255 is the telephone number. You can also hit me up on our WhatsApp because, you know, we're technologically advanced here at the radio station. Any speaker, anytime, and about any vehicle that you need to get a hold of me, you can use. I got the Facebooks and I got the WhatsApps, 988-5874. I still use email, and you can send me stuff at raygibsonshow@gmail.com on the World Wide Web. And what have I got from the deal this morning on the WhatsApp? A listener says, private sector contracts could surprise us. Competition plus necessity equals the mother of all inventions. Examples: Israel, Japan, China, England, Germany. Cultures that became good at working with limited resources. So what resources do we have that we might be able to bend to our will to make things better, especially where it comes to affordable housing and things like that? It's an interesting question that comes to life, if you ask me, because of the issues, specifically because of some issues involving people that are still at a Stumbo gym weeks after Typhoon Mangkhut has come here. They still don't have any place to go. No roof over their heads, no place to stash their cool stuff if they've got it, and so that becomes a concern. And generally the places where they came from, in most cases, weren't all that great to begin with. So it's not like they'd lost a window in the mansion or anything like that and can't move back. They were living in pretty awful circumstances before. So there much needs to be talked about where it comes to things like affordable housing. And as I'm trying to get caught up with things, it occurred to me I have not spoken to BJ Cruz in enough time. So I thought maybe we'd be able to spend a couple of minutes on the radio this morning. Hey, BJ, how you doing?
Good morning, Raymond.
Do you like your new job?
It's interesting.
It's interesting. What? And let me just start with that because it's provocative and tantalizing. What's so interesting about the job? What have you been looking at? What's been crossing your desk that makes your eyes go up and down?
Well, all kinds of things. Probably just trying to deal with the follow-up of the tax collection for real estate and the tax collection for cigarette taxes I've been waiting for some of the responses on the cigarette taxes. I got a response on the real property tax.
Well, and I was asked to ask about that this morning. A listener on Facebook Live wanted to follow up on the mid-pack tax case in particular, and I said, I don't know. I'll ask BJ. Have you been able to dig anything else out about the settlement that would be interesting and tantalizing to our listeners?
I've been waiting for a response from Northern Tax. They were supposed to respond last week, and they asked for an extension to today. So I'm waiting for the response today.
It's possible that you might actually see something?
I'm hoping.
You got subpoena powers there, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah?
We could. I'm trying to deal with it first in a non-contentious fashion in the hopes of them responding without.
Well, they're going to come back to you, Beej, and say we're busy today because it's the tax amnesty deadline.
They probably will.
Well, we were getting ready to put everything in the Xerox machine, and then we got busy. There was a line of people that were coming in to make the payments and get out from under interest and penalties. So, gosh, we just haven't had the time to get that documentation to you, Beach.
So maybe I may grant them an additional week, but then it'll be a lot trying to make their allotments. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I have spent the last 12 years trying to get answers from revenue and taxation. Remember, I was a 40.
Well, that was the idea behind becoming the public auditor, wasn't it? So that you could have a little bit more. I don't know. Things would be taken a little bit more seriously than they would have been if the request was coming from just the Speaker of the Legislature.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yes. All right. Well, there's that. Okay, so we'll either find out today or it's another week's extension before somebody gets kind of angry about it. What about the special funds? I'm curious, and the reason why I bring it up is because I saw an ad in the newspaper this morning. Joey St. Nicholas at the fire department is putting out a solicitation notice for a next-gen 911 system, and my question has always been, well, even if you do we have the money to pay for it? Because they took the special fund money and used it for, I don't know, FESPAC or something.
They took some of the money, I think $4 million over the last 4 or 5 years. And I'm not sure what funds Chief St. Nicholas is using as a certified funds for the next gen, but I'm hoping that there's been sufficient collection in that to be able to make the payment.
Yeah, I don't know what the balance is. We do know that there were monies that were taken out of that particular special fund, and when I asked him about it the last time, he said that they had a 911 system on order already. So I'm kind of curious why they're putting out another solicitation notice.
I will try to find out for you today.
Okay, that's both of us there. And last week, I think there was an appeal hearing for Take Care. Did you sit in on that?
No, because in my previous position, I was on the negotiating team, and I figured that there would be an immediate move to recuse me. And besides that, at the very beginning of the 34th Guam legislature, I was the one that introduced legislation to include GRMC in the plan.
Mm-hmm.
I think you remember how much blowback I got on that bill, that I didn't withdraw the bill, but I just didn't move it forward.
Let it die. Yeah. Well, there's it's an interesting conversation because they're now among the last couple of players that we've got, and it's interesting to me because GRMC has actually taken out advertising on this radio station telling people to go with Select Care. Well, that's an interesting way to market the business, but I was wondering if there was anything that was going to be happening with that particular appeal.
The administrative law judge, Mr. Camacho, had a scheduling hearing last week with the parties, and he's moving forward. And just so that there's a even greater than a Chinese wall, I mean, an actually wall of China, so that it's not said that I'm trying to influence or have anything to do with it. I don't even know what the scheduling order was. I've instructed the staff that's working with Mr. Camacho that I am not to be
apprised, yeah, and involved.
Anything that's going on, nor am I asking Mr. Camacho any questions about how that's moving, except to ask him to please expedite all of the hearings that he has before him, which are considerable. There are all the DOE hearings and on Simon Sanchez and this Take Care one, because I know at the public, when there was a committee of the whole, it was asked why everything had to wait until September the 19th, and everything, unfortunately, was put on hold during the absence of the elected public auditor. The deputy that took over, I guess, did not have the power to be able to address things, and so everything was put off until the 19th, which would have been after the election commission would have had time to certify whoever had won in the election.
Right.
And so last Friday, the first Friday that I came in on the 13th. On the 14th, I sent out all the letters appointing the administrative law judges for the cases that were outstanding. I immediately appointed myself to hear one of the cases, and so all the scheduling has begun, and everything started up from actually the first full day that I was in office to get all those procurement hearings done. I've been in discussions with the staff about the idea of following up on my procurement education, procurement training legislation to make sure that all the departments are complying with it. I was at the AGA had a conference earlier this month. Earlier this month that I attended, and I was shocked when I was sitting in one of the rooms where a fairly large agency, when they were talking about procurement training, and the person who was doing the presentation asked how many people had taken the course. I was sitting next to the chief financial officer of one of the large departments that does considerable procurement. And when the hand didn't go up, I was...
What?
Yes.
Well, I'll give you an example, and this is one of those things that we talk about every once in a while. You go, wait a second, let's figure out why we have so many protests and why this seems to be rampant around here. There was an invitation for bid that went out the other day from Guam International Airport for the purchase and delivery of GIAA vehicles for FY18. But it doesn't say anything in the invitation for bid about specifically what kind of vehicles are they getting. Are they getting the truck with the stairs in the back of it, or more of the little vehicles that shuttle around luggage, or is it a new car for Charlie, or what? It doesn't say what they're asking for here, and so I can see all kinds of guys going in there and putting together all kinds of bids that are going to get complained about.
Probably.
You would think that they would be more specific in the IFB.
They should, but not so specific that I'm looking for a copy, but I don't use the word copy, or I use Xerox or something. I only want cars that are made in Detroit as opposed to South Carolina or wherever.
Concur. Well, so at some point, maybe there's a step that needs to be taken so that Peter Roy and Charles Addo over at the airport will get the exact right kinds of cars. Otherwise, I can see the usual suspects lining up, taking advantage of the IFB, and then there's going to be then they're going to be coming to your office to complain about the
Right.
problems with the procurement.
Staff going through and surveying all of the agencies to determine who has completed it, comparing it to the list from GCC, and then going and making a whole guide of all of the departments with the specific positions that we believe should have the training, and seeing whether or not that person in the position right now has or has not had the training. And
hey, you got a PIO there? Paige, you got a PIO at the public auditor, the OPA?
Pardon me?
Do you have a PIO? I'm not looking for a job. I'm just, because I don't want you to have to worry about sending me a copy of whatever it is that the Rev and Tax hands off on the mid-pack tax case later today if it comes in. So maybe, if there's somebody else I can.
No, there aren't. I have currently 17 very, very qualified accountants with degrees and certification. There isn't anybody with
nobody. Yeah, we don't have a nose picker to send me press releases then.
But a couple of them did go off to training. I understand that they went to stakeholder training in Cambodia.
Wow.
and then a follow-up meeting in Manila.
All right. Well, if you get something, then send it over in my direction. Go ahead and leak it in the usual fashion.
Oh well, yeah, I will. And on the real estate one, I'm waiting for the response today because I am not happy with the response that I got from the Department of Land Management. And I'm hoping maybe Kevin will come over and do a story and follow up and see what's in this. Because it's appalling.
He's wild about it. He'll be in touch with you before the end of the day.
Okay.
All right, Beej, I'm going to run. I'll talk to you pretty soon. Have a good weekend.
All right, thanks.
All right, buddy. If you party, give me a call. You got my number. 7:57 in the morning, 888-8255. That number again, 888-8255. Coming up, we've got sports with Blake. And while I have a little bit of time in front of me, maybe I'll begin the process of unboxing, if you will, this beautiful iPhone. Not an iPhone, it's an iWatch. Apple Watch, I think, is the correct terminology for the kind of tech that we're dealing with here today. I originally brought in something like a knife, but in Apple, we've thought of everything fashion. They've got a flap of plastic here, and you just pull on this, and it tears the cellophane so that you can get to the paper part of the box. How about that? And then there's these two little flappy gizmos here, which I assume are for lifting it open. Thus, ooh, where's the other camera? Do I have another camera?
Does the box have the new car smell?
Wait, let me. I don't know. Hold on. Let me see if I can put up camera 4 here so you can see exactly what the unboxing process looks like. So here it is. Opens. Oh, look, it opens up like a cake from the bakery. Huh? You like that? Isn't that special? With little pictures of the iPhone watch there. This box here looks to me, it says Seashell Sport Loop. So this would be in this box here. This is very exciting stuff here. This is the band. Is it pretty? Is it nice? And I haven't even gotten to the watch part yet. This is just the band here. That's the thing that goes around your wrist. All right, but wait, there's more. Okay, this is the actual watch case, and inside this watch here is a 44 millimeters Apple Watch. Is it almost new? Time 60 more seconds. Designed by Apple in Cupertino. This instructions for use. Never read them. Never have. Not going to start now because usually it's an Apple thing and it comes right out of the box just fine. So here is the adapter. Plug this into the wall and it makes electricity. This is the transdermal charger. You don't plug something into the phone. You put the phone on top of this and they are inductively coupled so that the electricity that is in this will go into the watch itself. And now, the pièce de résistance in 15 seconds. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the brand new Apple Watch. You put the band on the gizmo, and then you turn the thing on, and I will be able to tell time and get email and watch Dick Tracy shows and adjust playlists. It'll do an electrocardiogram for me so I can send it over to my doctor so he can see what's going on. It's a ton of fun. We'll talk more about the capabilities in the next hour of the program. We're KUSG Agana.
As he responds to allegations of sexual assault dating back to high school.
I'm here today to tell the truth. I've never sexually assaulted anyone. Not in high school, not in college, not ever.
Questioned by Judicial Committee Ranking Member Dianne Feinstein.
What you're saying, if I understand it, is that the allegations by Dr. Ford, Ms. Ramirez, and Ms. Swetnick are wrong.
Yeah, that is emphatically what I'm saying. Emphatically.
Kavanaugh and his accuser, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, questioned separately by the committee. Ford also delivering an emotional statement.
Brett's assault on me drastically altered my life. For a very long time, I was too afraid and ashamed to tell anyone these details.
She claims Kavanaugh held her down and attempted to remove her clothes when the two attended a party in the early 1980s, and she says she thought he was going to rape her and accidentally kill her. South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham blasting Democrats during the hearing.
This is the most unethical sham since I've been in politics. And if you really wanted to know the truth,
you sure as hell wouldn't have done what you've done to this guy.
And Graham is saying that he hopes that the American people see through it. The Securities and Exchange Commission filing a complaint against Tesla CEO Elon Musk over his August tweets stating that he would take the company private.
Musk's statements misled members of the investing public to believe that it was virtually certain he could take Tesla private at a price of $420 per share, which was a substantial premium over its share price at that time.
SEC Co-Director of Enforcement Stephanie Avakian, Fox News, fair and balanced.
Calvo started with a simple handshake. As we celebrate 80 years, we extend a hand to all of you who have taken our hand in trust, to the dreamers and realists, the families, the businesses, the young at heart and the old souls, our manumku and our children. From all of us to all of you, our deepest, happiest, and infinite thanks.
80 years here for you. 80 years thanks to you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
Taste the sizzle at Chili's with our new fajita flavors. Our signature fajitas are served with sliced bell peppers, caramelized onions, topped with chipotle garlic butter, and chopped cilantro. Build your fajita with over 16 ounces of tender grilled chicken, juicy steak, and a dozen pieces of seasoned grilled shrimp in the family fajita trio. All served with warm flour tortillas and fresh toppings like mixed cheese, guacamole, salsa, and pico de gallo. Experience bold, sizzling fajita flavors only at Chili's. More life happens here.
A tragic end to the case of a missing autistic boy from North Carolina. Fox's Steve Rappaport has more live.
Lisa, Gastonia Police Chief Robert Helton says law enforcement did their best to find Maddox Rich alive.
I've lost a lot of sleep this week worrying about Maddox, but I've not lost any with what we were doing on our side.
The 6-year-old ran off from his father and a friend in a park last Saturday before he could catch up. Searchers finding what they believe to be Maddox's body about 4 miles from the park. Ian Rich looked for his son for about an hour before calling 911. Rich saying he didn't call police right away because he expected Maddox to quickly turn up. Lisa?
Steve, the nation's top diplomat at the United Nations as the U.S. continues to work on relations with North Korea to convince the North to end its nuclear program.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says he had a very good meeting at the United Nations with his North Korean counterpart, though Pompeo, chairing a meeting of the UN Security Council, also pressed countries to continue enforcing sanctions against North Korea. The administration says those sanctions will compel North Korea to dismantle its nuclear weapons and keep Kim Jong-un to his commitment of doing so by January 2021. Pompeo says he's planning a trip to Pyongyang next month to prepare for a second summit between President Trump and Chairman Kim. In late August, the secretary canceled what would have been his 4th trip to Pyongyang, citing North Korea's lack of progress in dismantling its weapons programs. At the State Department, Rich Edson, Fox News.
Denzel Washington has helped mark the start of renovations at playwright August Wilson's childhood home in Pittsburgh. Washington headlined a ceremony at the home yesterday. He led a $5 million fundraising effort to restore it. Washington directed a 2016 movie production of Fences, filmed the movie in Pittsburgh, and plans to film other Wilson plays. Renovations are set to be completed in 2020. Lisa Lacera, Fox News Radio.
Are high power bills sending your budget into chaos? Take control with the help of Micronesia Renewable Energy. Using the highest quality panels, a solar energy system from MRE will guarantee to save you money on power. With MRE, Christmas starts in September. With every solar energy system, homeowners not only get $400 for signing up, but also an entry for a chance to win $1,000 in cold, hard cash, just in time for Christmas. It pays to be an MRE customer. Conditions apply. Call 632-2613 for details. MRE, the smarter choice.
No one ever plans to be sick, especially when you're young. But sometimes things happen, and there you are with huge out-of-pocket expenses. And if your care requires you to go off island because your insurance doesn't include GRMC, you have hotel, food, and transportation costs on top of your medical copay. If you're a GovGuam employee or retiree, choose Calvo Select Care. It includes GRMC. And should an emergency arise, we're right here. GRMC, where patients are partners.
Here at APL, our core values give the company its heart and soul. Whether it's connecting your business with our global network through our newly enhanced service or investing our efforts into giving back to the community, APL is committed to serving you. We humbly honor the opportunity to find innovative solutions for you and your business. To learn more about our enhanced service, call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com/Guam for more details.
grilled salmon, petite sirloin. Can't decide.
What are you doing?
Making my top 10 list of favorite dishes at Ruby Tuesday.
You really need to get a hobby.
But I can't decide. There's no way I can narrow down so many classic dishes to just 10.
Then it's a good thing Ruby Tuesday did it for you.
It's the all-time favorites menu at Ruby Tuesday Guam. We took our most popular dishes and put them on one great menu for only $14.99. Hickory pork chop, Parmesan shrimp pasta, prime loco moco. 10 top sellers at one great price. Pick your favorite for a limited time at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
We get it. Gas and utility rates keep rising with no end in sight. But with Double Play from GTA, you can get an extra sweet deal that'll save you extra cash. Sign up today and get 50 megabits per second with fiber home internet, unlimited talk and text, plus 25 gigabytes of wireless data. And new customers get the first month free with no contract. Save over $500 in the first year and get extra with Double Play from GTA. Conditions apply. Visit gta.net for more details.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. News time here at The Point is 8 minutes past 8 a.m. this Friday morning. I'm Kevin Kerrigan. Here's a look now at some of the top stories from the Guam Daily Post. Another 7,000 tax refund checks will be mailed out on Monday, totaling $15 million. That comes on the heels of this past Monday's release of $35 million in refunds to 15,000 Guam taxpayers. Governor's office announcing this latest release of refunds yesterday. It'll cover error-free returns filed through April 16th, and that satisfies the court-ordered mandate to pay out all error-free refunds owed to island taxpayers by October 15th. The sudden flood of refund checks is due to the arrival last week of the Section 30 funding amounting to $77 million. $50 million of that amount has now been used to pay tax refunds. Another $19.8 million was used to pay the debt owed to the investors who bought Guam bonds, which leaves just $7 million left. In a statement announcing the refunds yesterday, Governor Calvo said that in 2011, his administration inherited a deficit of unpaid tax refunds of nearly $300 million. But he has kept his commitment, he said, to pay refunds in a timely manner, and he criticized lawmakers for blocking his efforts to borrow from the bond market to pay out the refunds even sooner. Guam Attorney General's office is conducting a criminal investigation related to the long-running dispute over the duty-free retail concession contract at the A.B. Wampat International Airport. In late August, subpoenas were sent to representatives of the airport, DFS Guam, and Lotte Duty Free Guam. All three parties were ordered to appear in Superior Court on September 14th and testify before a grand jury in connection with what their subpoena said is an ongoing investigation. The subpoenas were signed by Joseph McDonald, Deputy Attorney General and Chief Prosecutor. Lotte, DFS, and the Guam International Airport Authority were all ordered to bring any and all documents in connection with litigation over the award of the concession space at the airport. The subpoenas are attached to a 72-page declaration filed September 12th by Airport Attorney Genevieve Rapadas. When asked if the subpoenas were in reference to an ongoing criminal investigation, Rapadas responded yes. However, she told the Guam Daily Post that she did not know whether there are any specific targets of the investigation and who they might be. We'll have more news after this.
KFC has finally answered the world's most important question. What came first, the chicken or the egg? And the answer is both. Introducing KFC's KFC AM, their new Southern and local-inspired breakfast. AM-loaded platter with chicken fried rice, waffles, and Colonel's chicken congee. KFC also has your all-time favorites, AM chicken and egg wraps, Southern biscuit and sausage sandwich, and hash browns. So for finger-licking good mornings, AM will never be the same at KFC. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Sometimes a penny saved can lead to much more than a penny earned. With GPA Energy Sense rebate program, the power is yours. Earn money back while saving on your monthly power bill. GPA Energy Sense rebate program will help lower your initial costs when purchasing approved GPA energy efficient appliances and upgrades with monthly savings you can expect. For more Energy Sense saving ideas, visit GuamPowerAuthority.com or like us on Facebook. GPA, bringing energy solutions to you.
11 minutes past 8 a.m. here at The Point. Two men, one of whom brandished a machete, have been accused of assaulting two women Tuesday night in Mighty. According to the magistrate's complaint, the women were walking on the sidewalk about 6:30 p.m. when they were approached by 30-year-old Red 12 Tefong and 30-year-old Ete Atipas Albert. The women told police that Tefong pulled out a machete from the back of his waistband and pointed it at them, asking if they had money or beer. When the women said they had neither, Tefong reportedly asked if they wanted to die. Albert is then alleged to have grabbed one of the women's shoulder bags, and when she tried to call 911 on her cell phone, he reportedly took that phone and smashed it on the ground. Tefong and Albert are facing allegations of terrorizing, robbery, and assault. Tefong is also facing a special allegation of using a deadly weapon. The women knew both of the men. They reported the incident to police, who arrested both suspects. Government of Guam will need to borrow another $23 million to complete the construction of a third cell at the Luzon landfill and to fund the post-closure maintenance costs at the now-closed and capped former ORDOT dump. In a 6-page letter filed in district court by the federal receiver GBB, Principal Associate David Manning cites unexpected costs for the gas mitigation project required at the old dump, which is needed to control the emission of residual gases, plus an unanticipated increase in the cost of constructing a new cell at the Luzon landfill. Manning said the proposed loan would bridge the gap and would not require any increase in trash disposal fees. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post. Here's Ray and Mike now with a look at weather.
Wait, I forgot where to put this. Got the weather here next to the box from Beyond the Box that has the Apple Watch Series 4 in it, and the early reviews from the folks that were watching the unbox on Facebook Live think it's actually pretty cool. What it's doing right now, it's doing a thing. It's got this little cloud that's on the screen, and the reason why that is there is so that if I had an iPhone to pair it with right now, I would face the camera at this, and all of that information that you see there is data. And so it would talk back and forth, like a QR screen. It would talk back and forth and manipulate the data on the screen, and then it would pair all of the apps that are on the phone with all the capable apps for the watch. Very, very interesting the way that they've put all of this together, and it will be even more interesting when I get the other phone that attaches to that. So weather, here it comes, partly sunny today with isolated showers and thunderstorms, and then northeast winds to about 15 miles an hour, highs near 88 degrees, and max afternoon heat index about 101 degrees, overnight lows 77. Into the rest of the weekend, tomorrow night and Sunday, watch out for things to become cloudier and windier and stormier as we get, what did you call it, the dirty side of the storm?
Yeah, we'll get the dirty side, the right front quadrant of whatever it is as it blows through, and that's generally the north and northeast quadrant of the system as it comes on through. Looking like we're getting some good spin on it now, so that could actually be a depression within hours. It's really looking like it to me. I'd have to take a look at the ASCAT winds though and see how the winds are doing. If there's a closed circulation down there, then it's definitely getting its act together. But regardless of how much it gets its act together, it is coming this way and will blow through this weekend and bring us plenty of rain. So, what I posted on a personal post on my Facebook page is make sure you're doing your outdoor activities in flood safe areas. In other words, don't go hiking in the hills this weekend. It's not going to be a good weekend to do that. But if you're down at the beach, it should be okay. Just take an umbrella.
Gotcha. It's 8:15. That's news and weather together here on The Point.
Fuso trucks are sold, rented, and serviced exclusively on Guam by Morrico Equipment. Available in van body, reefer body, freezer body, or flatbed designs. Fuso trucks specialize in the smaller delivery and service market. Perfect for business on Guam. Serviced by qualified technicians. Fuso trucks are part of the Daimler Truck and Freightliner truck family. Sales, rental, parts, service, and fully maintained lease finance from MorricoEquipment.com. Call Morrico on Ipoh Road at 649-1946.
Portions of the program brought to you by my friends over at King's, inviting you to try beef tinaktak for your lunch time endeavor. You know how good beef tinaktak is for you, and if we got some stormy weather ahead, maybe that's what you're going to want to prep yourself to enjoy. Yeah, cold and rainy outside.
Heard that
tinaktak on the inside.
I've heard the beef tinaktak is so good at King's that even cows eat it.
8:16. Be right back.
Family Finance, serving the people of Guam since 1959. Now you can start planning for the holidays by getting a personal Christmas loan from $1,000 up to $3,500. Family Finance has 3 convenient locations to serve you. Give them a call in Dededo, 633-4473, Hagåtña, 475-4545, and the Upper Tumon location on the 2nd floor of the Pacific Building at 647-5626. Get your Christmas loans today from Family Finance.
It's everybody that brings you the Ray Gibson Show. We're talking about Micronesia Renewable Energy, Guam Regional Medical City, first choice for all of your open heart surgery needs. American President Lines, they're shipping the future, as well as our buddies over at American Water Tech. Smarter water, better water. AK Lexus is also in the act. Did you know that the 2009? What a great day for talking about new stuff. I got the new Apple Watch here in the studio. Did the unboxing just a few minutes ago, and I love getting that new Apple toy smell. Number one. But they've also got the new AK Lexus ES350 automobiles, and you're going to love just
2 different machines, but both beautiful and elegant.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Excellent copywriting going on there. No, not that one, not that one. But yeah, it's crazy. In the same way, and the same way that you can kind of accessorize this watch, you'll also be able to a degree accessorize the ES350. Like I said, you want to get the one with the Deadpool leather interior. You really do. 817. Blake Watson coming up next.
The Coconut Wireless is back. Morning talk that matters. The Ray Gibson Show.
Yeah, I got a couple of guys lamenting on the WhatsApp channel here, 988-5874. We've got, what's the guy saying? Gov Guam may need to borrow $23 million for a landfill to take care of some of the things, some unexpected expenses that they've got in there. And it kind of makes it sound, it's only $23 million. That'll cover just about everything, and then we won't have to raise any of the tipping fees and the disposal fees and things like that. Oh, good night. $23 million. Kind of spooky. Throw that money around like it's like they work at the NFL or something like that. I don't know. 8:18. It's time for Sports with Blake.
Yeah.
You okay there?
It's Fiery Friday, yeah.
But no, it's Deadline Friday. Today's it's the last day for open enrollment in the government of Guam. And it is also the last day if you're one of those guys that lined up at the Department of Revenue and Taxation and got amnesty for for not paying taxes in the last 10 years.
No, I don't.
You're not that guy? Okay, so today is the day. Today's the day. I don't think you can apply anymore, but today is the deadline to go. If you already done your 10% down payment, you got to come up with the rest of the stuff. Otherwise, you're going to lose the ability for them to write off the interest and the penalties. And my guess is since they already know that you're there and you've kind of admitted that you owe them a whole bunch of tax money, they're going to sit you down with an investigator and a collector next. So that's the
I'm
deadline.
glad I'm not those people.
Are there any other deadlines that you're aware of? Is there any
like GovGuam deadlines?
Just any deadlines.
Well, I know today's the deadline to do your picks in the pick group because there's a game this afternoon.
There is that. Oh, we better start talking about that because there's a lot of games going on over the next couple of days. All right, so let's get into some football here.
All right, so check it out.
No, you got to do music bed. You got to do music bed. Come on, we got to showbiz it up there, buddy. Come on, this is big time. This is FM radio.
Yeah. Get that music bed going.
Sound effects and liner voice, guys. It's time for football talk. It's the pick'em talk.
Hey, how's it going? Here we are, HSOs.
Mike and Blake. Yeah. Smooth talkers.
Well, we do.
That's all I could dig up on short notice.
There we go. This morning, 10:20 a.m., the Minnesota Vikings will take on the Los Angeles Rams. Rams undefeated, 3-0. And the Vikings sitting at 1-1-1 when they tied the Packers, I guess, 2 weeks ago. The last time that the Vikings, y'all, won in L.A., it was 1976.
Wow.
And it's really interesting to see because it was a abnormal mud field. Like, it had rained in L.A., which doesn't happen that often, and the field was just... The field was just soaked with mud, and it's really cool if you end up Googling those images. It's cool to see the 1976 lily white Vikings away jerseys, all muddy and very classic football. But that was the last time that they got a win in L.A. The Vikings was in 1976.
Frank Tarkington was still playing for them at that.
I believe he was. And I said all that to say I'm taking the Vikings.
Really?
Yep. Because I expect the Rams to win, and this year it's gone the way of unexpected.
Okay.
The opposite of what I've expected has happened. So I'm going Vikings, even though I want to pick Rams. They were my Super Bowl pick.
Yeah.
Still are. But I'm going to stick with the Vikings.
That's almost at every turn. It's been unexpected. You know, we got tie games this season already, and we've got a couple of odd upsets in week number 3. So I think in week number 4, I hope we'll follow that very, very interesting trend.
Yes. And next, who you got next? Or who did you have in there?
Well, I got Rams.
Okay.
I picked Rams.
All right. Atlanta, Cincinnati.
Yeah, I got the Falcons. It's a home game, and the Bengals, I'm just not convinced, although there's only a 4-point spread.
I'm taking them as well. The next 2 games, very, very tough because they could go either way. Chicago at Tampa Bay. I'm going to take Fitzmagic.
Really? I got to go with the Bears at home and their improved defense.
Think so? Okay.
Yeah.
Good choice. I'm going against Dallas again, just because.
Really?
Yep.
I just can't. I can't go against them at home against the Lions.
Have you seen them? Have you seen them play?
I actually have not, but I'm going to put my faith.
Benefit of the doubt, huh?
Well, I know you'll be up at 3 a.m. on Monday morning, so you should pop on Fox when it comes on and just watch a quarter. That's all you'll need to know for the rest of the season about picking with them. Green Bay Buffalo. I think Green Bay beats Buffalo easy, right?
Yeah, they're 10-point favorites, but you know what? Buffalo has surprised everybody so far this year, and I'm not so sure they won't surprise Green Bay. 'Cause I don't know, Green Bay looks a little out
Yeah,
of
but they got
sorts.
Aaron Rodgers. Buffalo has Josh Rosen. Give me Aaron Rodgers.
Well, yeah, and it's in Green Bay, so
Yeah.
So
Josh
give me
Rosen?
hard.
Josh Allen?
I guess this would be really when I picked it, and I was kind of in a hurry this morning when I did. This was kind of my upset pick.
Tennessee, you picked the Titans over
No.
the Eagles?
The Bills. The Bills.
Oh, the Bills, Pat. You
Yeah,
think
that
they're
was my upset.
Do you think they're going to upset another NFC North team?
I think so. I think the Bills.
It's bold.
There's something there we don't know.
It's bold.
Yeah.
I'll
be sure to give it a little confidence points.
Philadelphia, Tennessee.
I got to go with the Eagles.
All right,
man.
me too. Indy Colts. Indy and your home team of Houston.
Yeah, it's in Indianapolis, and the Texans are they're out of sorts, man. I got to go with the
I
Colts.
told you off air going into this week, I'm not picking your team anymore. They've let me down. I picked them up until today, and
I
they've
really
let me
can't
down.
this week, especially against the Colts. There's a psychological thing because they kicked our butt for so long. It works against us when we go there.
I am picking my upset, crazy, what are you doing pick of the week. I'm picking Miami to beat New England in New England.
Wow.
I think this is where Miami shows everybody that they're for real.
I was on the fence with this one, but I got to go with the Patriots.
Okay.
You know, I figured they're going to bring their season back even.
It's the smart call.
What, we got like another 20 games to talk about? Can this go faster? We can go faster on this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jaguars hosting
Jags.
Got that too. Browns at the Raiders.
Browns.
Taking the Browns. Cardinals hosting Seattle.
I'm going to take the Cardinals.
Me too. Right.
And I'm going to take Seattle. New Orleans, New York.
What about you, Ray? Who do you pick?
What's that?
Who are you picking?
For which game?
Which in all?
I like the Washington Redskins whenever they play. Carolina Panthers maybe, and Green Bay Packers. All right, we've been through all of those guys already, right?
Yeah. New Orleans, New York.
I got New Orleans.
Me too. Chargers, San Francisco. Chargers, because San Francisco doesn't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, Baltimore. Give me Baltimore.
Pittsburgh.
I'll take Kansas City when they face off against Denver.
Absolutely. Mahomes is the real deal.
And there you go.
There you go.
That's it? All right, that takes us all the way into Monday?
That takes us all the way into Monday.
Perfect. So the deadline to join the Pick'ems is today, because after this we're into week 5 and we already need to start thinking about the Super Bowl.
And to tell you the truth, that even if they join right now, I mean, it'll be for fun, but you probably won't be in for the prize running because we got some big points already being made. Because
so if they join now, could they pick the teams that have already won in week? So they can't go backwards.
No,
now?
you cannot go back. Yeah.
Because that would be the cool thing. That would be like going back in time with the
case,
sports
I'd
books.
join at week 15.
I know all of the outcome of all of the different games. They're getting played anyway, so that's the big deal on the NFL side. Anything happening locally that we need to know? I mean, we've got some weather that's going to be popping in here before too much longer.
Actually, locally for you, could be on your radar as you are an alma mater, or that it is your alma mater. You are an alumni. FD taking on the surprise hit of the fall, the Southern High Dolphins. Now, they have not won a game in the last 2 seasons. However, they are sitting tied for second this year. They are 3-1 in the standings, and the Friars, who haven't lost in like 3 seasons, they will put their winning streak on the line against the Southern High Dolphins. Now, here's the interesting part. Kickoff set for 7 p.m. tomorrow night at GW's Field, but it's a home game for Southern. Yeah.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah, but that's the big local game for the of the week will be the Friars taking on the Dolphins. Now, Dolphins, like I said, 3-1 after the last 2 seasons, not winning a single game. Surprise, second place, team, and they really haven't played anybody yet. So this will definitely be a big test for them.
All right, and a couple of big. If there's supposed to be like 5Ks working this weekend, you got the duck race tomorrow at the Hilton. There's going to be something going on at a Conta Mall. The Remember September thing that you and I used to work when we were working.
Heroes Run, I think.
Yeah, the September to Remember or something like that.
For like the 1,000th time, they're going to try to get Game 5 of the Guam Major League Baseball Championship done tonight.
Right.
I don't know how the field is going to look though, and we may get more rain this afternoon, so that may have to be postponed.
I got that feeling. We'll watch this play the GML into all the way into October, for heaven's sakes.
A quick hit that I saw. This is kind of a big deal just on the national thing, especially considering that Mayweather and Pacquiao may fight again. But after 45 years as the broadcaster for most of the biggest fights in boxing, as the platform that created modern pay-per-view, and as the launching pad for most of the sport's biggest stars for decades, HBO announced on Thursday it was dropping its boxing coverage by the end of the year. After 45 years of covering it, HBO will no longer be covering the sport of boxing, starting to phase it out between now and the end of 2018. So that's kind of a
Just note that the money's not the same in it, especially with MMA and the other things that have come along.
Well, and we were talking about that UFC dude this morning, right? Because that was what I was talking about. Docomo has got the pay-per-view thing that they're doing, and who's it? Conor McGregor is going to be in it, and he is going to be fighting
Khabib.
What was the name?
Khabib
Nurmagomedov, or I know I'm butchering that, but that's pretty close. Khabib. Let's see here. I can do it. Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Bless you.
Mike, you actually wrote it out. Yeah, Khabib
Nurmagomedov. Anyway,
Nurmagomedov.
If you will remember when Conor McGregor was when he was charged criminally in the state of New York for I guess ambushing that bus and destroying that bus at the weigh-in of the it was a pay-per-view event in Brooklyn. Khabib was supposedly the target of that attack, and he was in the bus that Conor attacked. So,
wicked! Like rappers, they're like rap guys,
right? So, so not only do these two not like each other, this also has a little bit of a history stemming from the fact that Conor famously threw a trash can through a bus window, injured some fighters that were unrelated to the scuffle in the bus, and he was charged criminally in the state of New York, I believe, with a misdemeanor. Had to do some community service and stuff like that. But it was all because of Conor and this guy that he's fighting, Khabib. They've been feuding for a while, so this should be a good one.
And Khabib's coming in the
and
game.
Also, our own Roki is left too. I don't know if we got that as well. Roki Martinez.
Well, all due respect and love for my friends over at Docomo, how do I watch that fight for free? What's the hack here, Blake? How do we watch it for nothing?
Just keep Googling and YouTube streaming till they shut down the stream.
We'll eventually find it, and then you go find another stream.
Here's the key: you got to find the streams that change their title halfway through. So that way, it'll be like, free boxing. And then 10 minutes into the boxing match, so HBO doesn't cruise and try to find it. It'll be like not boxing at all. Don't click, and they never shuts it down.
So it's one of those things, if you look hard enough, you'll find it. So the 9th Annual Spartans 2K 5K, that's going to be taking place at Santa Barbara. And again, this one looks like it's the one. Hard to pick which one of these races are going to be the ones that's most attended. But most of the runners that I'm talking to are going to be hitting the Varo race tomorrow. It's in Ipao. It'll be a duck carnival, an adopt a duck deal, costume contest, a little duck race, and of course the 2K 5K that's going to take place. So $5 a head for kids, $10 for grown-ups, $15 on race day. You can get your tickets now at Cafe Chino or Hornet Sporting Goods for the 2018 Varo Duck Race and 2K 5K. Fun run. That's what ducks want to be when they grow up. It's the one bird sound effect that we have here in the morning show. 8:30, and I think that's it for sports.
Yeah, like I said, just good luck to Roki, because we kind of just glossed over that really quickly, but he is heading off to face off against fighting legend Mirko Krokop in Rizin 13. It's gonna happen in Japan this weekend. So big fight for Roki Martinez as he carries the Guam seal and the flag on his back and goes and fights Mirko Krokop. It's honestly for Roki, win or lose, it's just it's kind of like stepping in the ring with Ali, you know, like Mirko Cro Cop is a little like that. You know, it's a big deal for Roki to even fight this guy, win or lose.
That he's made it that far.
It's a big name.
So we send our congratulations and best of luck to him. It's 8:31 in the morning. That's plenty of sports with Blake Watson and Mike talking about the pick'ems in there. We got Kevin Kerrigan is going to be doing the last newscast for the week in about 60 seconds.
Get a 20-ounce stainless steel Circle K Coffee Club tumbler. Just stop into any Circle K, sign up for our Power Pass rewards program, and after your purchase of 15 cups of premium coffee, any size, you get your tumbler for free. While supplies last, conditions apply. See store for details. Get a 20-ounce stainless steel Circle K Coffee Club tumbler. Just swipe your Power Pass key fob when you purchase Circle K Premium Coffee, any size. And after 15 cups, you'll get your tumbler for free. While supplies last, conditions apply. See store for details.
Khabib Panunkadunk. That's as close as I think I'm going to be able to get to that game. 8:32 in the morning, and that is taking care of that section of the hour. And coming up, still plenty of stuff to talk about. Looking, as I like to do on Fridays, at low-cost, no-cost family kind of events. And there is an ice cream deal that's going to be coming up over at Haagen-Dazs. We'll talk about that. But right now, we got to talk about news from the Guam Daily Post. Managing editor is Kevin Kerrigan. Here's headlines.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. And the headlines from the Guam Daily Post this morning. Guam Memorial Hospital has paid the remaining $2 million it owed to the Guam Retirement Fund. The payment was made on Wednesday. It brings the hospital up to date now. That means 22 GMH employees who've been waiting to retire can now do so. The Retirement Fund filed suit against GMH in July, seeking an order to force the hospital to pay the contributions it owed, plus penalties and interest. Now that GMH is up to date, GMH attorney Rachel Taimano Azuzu asked the Judge Vern Perez, to dismiss the case. However, Retirement Fund attorney Vince Camacho objected, countering that this isn't the first time GMH has fallen behind in retirement fund payments. He wants to continue the case. Judge Perez asking both sides to submit briefs today before deciding whether or not to dismiss the lawsuit. The Guam Election Commission last night said they have no objection with Judge Vern Perez overseeing the civil case filed against the Election Commission by Ken Leon Guerrero. Leon Guerrero is the spokesman for the Guam Citizens for Public Accountability, a political action committee. He's filed a lawsuit asking for a court order to force the Election Commission to count 907 crossover ballots from the August primary, which the Election Commission considers void. Perez has disclosed several potential conflicts that could disqualify him from hearing the case. Leon Guerrero has also said he has no objection to Perez hearing the case. The Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority next week will be accepting online pre-applications for the Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program. Applications are being accepted Monday through Friday. They'll only be accepted online, not in person. GURA will randomly select 1,800 applicants through an electronic lottery system to establish a 2-year waiting list for Section 8 vouchers, which provides housing rent vouchers to low-income families. In a release, GURA says that every applicant will have the same chance of being selected, adding that where or when applicants apply will not make a difference. To file an application, go to www.gura.org. For more information, you can also contact GURA directly. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post.
So of the thousands of applicants that are out there for GURA housing, they're going to be conducting a lottery. And if you win, it gets you a space on another list.
Right. So pre-application filed, and then they narrow it down to 1,800, and then you file the formal application.
That's something else. It's 8:35 in the morning, and there's headlines for you. Brought to you, in this case, by my friends over at iConnect. 888-8888 is their telephone number. Give them a ring this morning and find out why they're the practical choice. Can hook you up with mobile and internet and even push-to-talk. It's the same kind of technology from back in the day, but you take the convenience and the great tool that is push-to-talk and combine that up with smartphone technology, and I think it's going to blow you away. So check it out today at iConnect, the practical choice.
The first ever of anything is always special. That's why we're excited about the first ever 2018 Nissan Kicks. The Kicks kicks things up with best-in-class MPG, standard safety technology with automatic emergency braking system, and best-in-class cargo space to meet any lifestyle. Upgrades kicks things up with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and Bose driver headrest speakers. Over 1.4 million colorful options means your Kicks can be a first ever of its kind. The Kicks starts at under $20,000. Visit Nissan Guam for a test drive today. Nissan, innovation that excites.
Last look at traffic this morning, and for Kevin's drive to his other office, there shouldn't be too many problems. I'm not seeing places where traffic is slowing down. It's traffic build up as usual at this time for folks that are getting out of the downtown Agana area on Route 4, making their way to Agana Heights and Ordot, etc. Nothing in front of Navy Hospital, nothing in front of Anderson Air Force Base, and nothing in front of Sumai. What have we got for you coming out of Dededo? No, there's still nothing. It looks like it's fairly clear here this morning. That's nice. That's cool. 8:36. And that's right now traffic here on The Point.
UFC 229 on Sunday, October 7th. The notorious Conor McGregor returns to retake the UFC lightweight title from unbeaten champion Khabib Nurmagomedov in the main event of UFC 229. Pre-show starts at 10 a.m. and the fight starts at noon. Use your remote or call 688-CARE to order this pay-per-view event on Channel 401 or in HD on Channel 402. UFC 229 on Docomo Pacific is brought to you by TGI Fridays.
Well, at least one member of the Point Morning Show Army here has decided to take matters into their own hands. We've only got one bird sound effect in our bird sound effect library, and so our friend has sent me a link to YouTube, and on the YouTube it's 1 hour. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing the crap people throw up on YouTube? And now, I shouldn't say too much about it because I take 4 hours of this program every day and stick it up on YouTube on the off chance that there's somebody that might find something that comes out of my mouth meaningful or relevant and might want to hear it again. So you can always follow Ray Gibson Show on the YouTube and see what it is that I do for 4 hours a day. Also, video on demand on Facebook Live. But there's somebody who decided once upon a time that the world just did not have enough duck sounds. And it's a 1 hour. It's a 1 hour of just duck noises. That's it.
And it's not Donald Duck. It's like real ducks,
right? Who envisions a world like this? Who decided one day that this will make people happy?
You know, from a practical standpoint,
there's over 250,000 views on this.
And if you were a hunter, you could load this up onto your MP3 player, take it out into the hunting places, and play it. And it might call them. It's a duck call without having to blow into a duck call.
I guess. All right. A couple of notes before I jump into the telephones. 888-8255 is a telephone number, and Commissioner Roy says, a lottery for Gura. Why not a lottery for Chamorro Land Trust? Take your qualified applicants and throw their names in a bin, spin it like bingo, and call it out. Here you go. Congratulations. You've just got a quarter-acre property up in Dededo, and you can start moving in as soon as we can get you electricity and sewer sanitation and things like that. Hey, you know what, Roy, that might work as well or better than the systems that they have not been following for the last 30 years between the Chamorro Land Trust Commission and land management. What do we got here on some of the other comments floating around? Good comment, Roy, says Eddie Cruz. Yes, I too have asked for a CLTC lottery for a long time. Roy says, right, Eddie, and you have to explain the point of the post that you put up on Facebook. Now we're all freaked out about you. 8:39 in the morning, 888-8255 is the telephone number. Always nice to talk with a variety of people. I don't see, I might have to reboot here. Michael, I cannot see who's there. So just open the microphone and tell me, who is it? Is it my friend? Do I have friends?
Mr. Joyce and Nicholas.
Dad from the fire department. Hey, Chief. Or, I'm sorry, wait a second. It's Deputy Fire Chief Joey St. Nicholas. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Not bad. Dude, busy the other night over by the airport, huh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, gladly nobody got hurt. But what you did see was our partners in the airport, our firefighters that came out and helped us, which is become a regular thing now. So we're very happy about that.
Well, dude, it actually scared me when my daughter and I were pulling up to where we could see the airport, and all of a sudden you get that big plume of smoke out there, and I couldn't make out whether it was on the sanitized side of the airport fence or our side of the fence, and I was just my fingers crossed and saying a prayer that it wasn't an airplane down, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I imagine that would be big news and very catastrophic, but fortunately everything worked out and everybody was able to get out, and we were able to take care of that situation rather quickly.
I was very impressed, and I said so yesterday about the driver de Guzman. And I don't know about you, but if something like that would have happened to me, I'm sure there would have been some visible freaking out going on my part. But this guy apparently kept his head, made sure everybody got off the bus safely, and his feet were the last to touch the ground, and waited for the fire department to put things out.
Yeah, not enough credit is given to these type of career fields, bus drivers especially, including the ones that drive our kids around every day to school.
Mm-hmm.
They have a responsibility for their passengers, and that they take it seriously. De Guzman in particular did a great job of getting everybody out. So
do you think he might have what it takes to become a fireman?
Absolutely. Why not?
Right.
Give him a try.
No, why not? See, maybe there's something. But you got a cycle going on, right?
We do. I'm very excited. In about 2 months, they should be graduating. They did a big milestone just earlier this week. I believe Wednesday, they took their national registry exam, and they passed it. So that was a major milestone for them, and another 2 more months of fire and emergency training. And they should be out in the fire station.
I've seen. It's been a long time. In fact, it was probably the cycle that you were in was the last time I'd seen anybody on television going through some of the things that these young men and women have to go through in order to become firefighters, and some real old school drill sergeant tactics that go on, because I mean it's a serious business, and B, it's dangerous. I mean, you're holding onto the business end of a hose with all kinds of water pressure on it, and those things can get out of hand real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, the whole reason why we're a paramilitary services is we exhibit, or it's basically the same expectations that you would see for a military member. We are asking these individuals to put their lives on the line for a perfect stranger. So that requires military discipline, integrity, loyalty, and everything that goes with it. To be able to put yourself out there like that, and at the same time giving them the tools and making sure that they understand the knowledge that's needed so that they can stay alive and keep others alive.
It's a fascinating business, and I even though I like to think that I'm fit and trim, I don't know that I would exchange places with these guys in this training process. Hey, the real reason I called, it's always nice to get caught up on some other fire department stuff. Reason I called is there is a solicitation notice in the newspaper this morning for the Guam Fire Department Next Gen 911 system, and you and I've talked about this before, especially with regards to the 911 fund, the E911 fund that had been raided out from under the fire department, and so I was trying to find out, did we not already have a procurement in play for an E911 system that was under review at the AG's office?
Yes, and this is the procurement that's in place. So this is the next step.
Oh, this is the one.
Yes, so this is the one. So what we were talking about, and we've been talking about this for years. I've been really trying to push this with a lot of back and forth, whether this should be a request for proposal project or an invitation for bid project, because we're in this specifications we're putting in for both equipment and services, and so it kind of combines the two. So the majority of this is going to be services, because we acknowledge that technology changes every day, and so we need a system that can grow with the times, and which was not available to us on the legacy system that we currently have. So that was where the biggest hiccup was, but we were able to push through it, and we got some critical decisions made, and now we're able to get to this RFP and get some potential proposals out there so that we can enter the next phase, which is the actual contract phase. So this has been, part of our Blueprint 2020 since 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
This is actually the very last accomplishment, or the very last task that I needed to achieve as far as that plan is concerned.
Okay, so but for clarity, because there are going to be people that say, "Well, I thought we were already had something working." So this was the something that was working under review at the Attorney General's office, and my assumption is that the folks over there have blessed what this solicitation looks like now, and it is published.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You're absolutely correct.
So the next thing is because, and the concern was that the 911 fund had been raided to take care of some other obligations in the government of Guam. The question is, do you have the money now to be able to purchase this next gen system?
Yes, and as I stated before, the fund is very consistent as far as the revenues and as far as the availability. We collected roughly about $2.1 million a year so far, or for the past 2-3 years, and we roughly have an operation that maxes out about 1.7. So the delta that's left over is what we've pretty much committed towards this next generation 911 system. And
that only leaves you with about $400,000 a year.
Correct. And so, knowing this year we didn't use that $400,000, we're expecting to still have $450,000 in lapse funds. And with everything else that's going on, I assume that'll be lapse funds available to us rolled over.
You better double check with Les, buddy. That wasn't necessarily the case for the Guam Election Commission last week. So you might want to make sure that.
I even stated this at the legislature when we were talking about it as far as the oversight. There's nothing that has led me to believe that it wouldn't be available when we need it. And at this point, we need it now, and I know it's going to be available.
All right. Well, you don't need it this very minute. As the timeline goes now, we're in the contracting and the solicitation phase, and then we'll be in the contracting and then the execution phase. Do you think that this is something that is going to happen while you and the other fellows at the helm as chief of the fire department?
Yes, actually. We got a pretty tight timeline. The AG is very particular on days. So we got about 3 deadlines that are before us, which is, of course, we open today for packets to be picked up. And then there's a closing deadline, I believe it's a month from now, to turn in your packets. And then we have like 2 weeks after that to do a review. So, potentially we could have a contract awarded by December. Everything just goes smooth without any hiccups, and then we can already get this system coming into whoever the next administration is.
Yeah, and you've already got a space picked out for it. You've already got people that do it, and so there should not be too many of these potential hiccups. But now that it is in the realm of procurement, that's where it gets scary, because there are going to be a number of people that might be offering these services. You've done sufficient traveling, I'm sure, to a number of workshops and conferences where advanced E911 system or next gen 911 systems are on review and are for sale. Are there some features in there that you'd love to have right now, and little switches that you want to turn on day number one?
Oh yeah, absolutely. GPS tracking number one. This system, next generation 911 system, will have the ability to locate a 911 caller within 5 meters of their location. So that is going to be huge for us. We don't need to worry about anymore about worrying out, getting the caller ID, getting an address off of the, a system that's put in by the teleproviders.
Right.
This one will actually locate them by GPS within 5 meters.
Huh.
So that's a huge advantage for us, and this would go well for for those that are out in the water. Whoever calls 911 when they're not in a physical, location that has a physical address.
Which will happen every once in a while, yeah.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely.
I know a lot of guys that have needed to get towed in by the Coast Guard, and all they need to do is be within a sight practically of some kind of a cell tower, and they might have just enough throw on their phones to be able to get somebody out there to respond to them. So those are always interesting stories. They're funny afterwards, but I think during the emergency, it's rather harrowing out there. 10 away from the top of the hour, and there were a couple of other questions about E911 that I think are going to be interesting. So you've got the money to be able to pay for all of these systems. You got a timeline of where it's going to be going. And I'm trying to think, there was one other thing about the E911 that was in my head just a second ago, but you distracted me. So at any rate, so the steps are being taken, and we should be able to see somebody starting the process probably early next year of the installation.
That is my hope. We're going to keep pushing forward on this regardless, and we're going to stay on track with the timeline.
I remember. You know what? I remember what it is now. I remember what it is that I wanted to know about the deal. And you had Telena had called everybody in over at the legislature, and she wanted kind of an update, a little bit of an oversight on what was happening with the funds. And you said something that sticks out in my head now as I'm thinking about it. You said that it would be a good time to also offer up the possibility of a conversation to make sure that the telecom providers are giving you all of the money that they are collecting for the E911 on the bills. What prompted that part of the discussion? Are you concerned that there might be some guys holding back?
I'm just referring to the last performance audit that was done by the Office of Public Accountability that said that there's an inconsistency with the teleproviders in how they charge their administrative costs in the dollar surcharge. And I've said this before that some charge 6 cents and some charge 31 cents. So we get basically 70 cents out of the dollar, at least according to this report. And this report is dated October 2010, OPA report number 10-06 that talks about it. And so this is an opportunity for the commission to do an audit, not just on us, but also do a complete audit as a whole. And, maybe we can answer those questions as well.
Yeah. So make sure that you get your fair share of everything that is getting collected and that we don't have any onerous administrative fees for guys that might be keeping a little bit more of their beak. That's interesting. It would be, and maybe next time I talk to BJ, I'll ask him if he's interested in doing something along those lines.
And really the reason why raise, because I've been asked, would I consider raising the dollar surcharge? And my position is no. At this point, I don't want to support that because, we need to determine whether we're really using the full dollar right now. And at this point, we're not, in my opinion. And, so therefore, I wouldn't even support a raise in the dollar surcharge.
Well, thanks for keeping your hands out of my pocket. I appreciate that.
Hey, I got pockets too.
Yeah, right. We both do. Hey, Joey, I appreciate the time. Very, very good luck with this. It's going to be interesting to see where this heads and who might be in a position locally. I'd like to see some local firms, local telecom guys, perhaps, and the idea that was floated when we were talking about an E911 system is maybe to get it from a big local technology vendor, a GTA or a Docomo or iConnect or IT&E, because they've got the infrastructure backbone to be able to support everything. You can still bring your people in, but let the system be managed, maintained, and upgraded as need be by a local firm. So I'd like to see as many people as possible line up for a shot at this NG911 system.
And I'm with you on that. But at the same time, we have to acknowledge no matter who wins, I believe local jobs will be created. So, or at least maintained. So that's a good thing all around anyway.
Yeah, because it's at this point now it's all basically telecom. It's not back in the old days, just somebody answering a phone and a recording machine and all of that stuff. It's infrastructure, telecom infrastructure and backbone that's going to be the key to making sure that this 911 system works for everybody. Hey, dude, have a good weekend. Stay safe.
Hey, you too.
All right, Chief Joey St. Nicholas from the Guam Fire Department, actually Deputy Chief of the Guam Fire Department is Joey St. Nicholas. Great to have him on the line. From the, as she describes it, the very last civilian chunk of land up in Jigo. Samantha Taitanoff, a day.
Hello, how are you?
I'm terrific. What a great pleasure it was meeting you and your girlfriends last night at the wine and yoga event.
Yes, it was a very nice event. Mia is an amazing yoga teacher, so it was really nice to be part of that.
And you were a yoga person to begin with, or was that your first time venturing into the land of yoga pants?
I try. I try, but I'm not always consistent.
Like everything else, is everyone, you got to find something that you can stick to and do at least once or twice a week. And with all the crazy schedules, I thought it was nice that they combined them, because for me, in a lot of cases, I like to do things where I can have beer and running at the same time. But there aren't too many of those particular events, so it's nice that they got the wine and the yoga at the same time. Did anybody give you any indication, Samantha, about when they might be doing something like that again?
No, but I was talking to a bunch of the organizers, and they did say that they wanted to put on another event soon. So we'll be on the lookout for that.
Well, let's spend some time on your event, and this is the neat thing about Being Me is I meet people and find out about a little bit about their background and the things that they are interested in. And Samantha is with an outfit called Manyelu.
Yes, Manyelu. So we are formerly Big Brothers Big Sisters of Guam, and we're just going through a name change right now.
Just a name change. So it's the guts of the organizations are still there. The missions of Big Brothers and Big Sisters is still there.
Yes. So the mission's changing a little bit. Over the years. So as many of you might know, we are a mentoring program. So we match at-risk youth with positive adult role models. But over the years, we've really expanded our programs to include a lot of family programs and kind of empowering and educating families, both our local families and our migrant families. So kind of with this name change, it's really localizing our program and just kind of incorporating all of the different things that we've been doing.
But is it still kind of the same concept, though? I mean, you know, we talk about the mentoring. So if I've got some time and space in my life and I meet some of the standards of Big Brothers and Big Sisters, or Manyelu here, as you refer, could I still, you know, take on a young person and guide them through some tricky parts of childhood? Is that still part of the mission?
Yes, definitely. Okay. Our mentoring program is still ongoing without any interruption. So, and we're always accepting applications for people who are interested in mentoring a child.
All right. And if you want to find out more, one of the great ways to do this is to get involved in a fundraiser that you guys are doing at Fiesta this weekend.
Yes. So we have our To Your Heart's Content Haagen-Dazs ice cream event this Saturday. It will be at the Haagen-Dazs Cafe at the Fiesta Resort. We'll be there from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and it is all-you-can-eat ice cream sundaes.
So tomorrow's cheat day for everybody. Tomorrow is a cheat day, okay?
Yeah, so tickets are $25, and you can stay at Haagen-Dazs as long as you want and eat as much ice cream as you can.
All of the flavors?
Yes, all of the flavors. So what'll happen is...
Yay!
Yeah, so you'll come in and you will get the scoops from the employees, and then we'll have a topping bar that you can create your sundaes with.
Oh, a topping bar?
Yes.
So what's wrong with just regular old ice cream? You know, when I was a kid, that's the way, because we had to eat it with our fingers, because you know it was back in the olden days. I guess now I get the little fancy cups and little plastic straw deals, the spoons, and now different toppings. Do you have a favorite topping?
I am a rainbow sprinkles girl.
Nice. So $25, and what did you say? 11 until 6 o'clock at Haagen-Dazs at the Fiesta Resort tomorrow.
Yes.
And for people that want more information, how do they get a hold of you?
Okay, so if you want more information, you can visit our website at manyelu.org, so MANELU.org. You can call our office at 472-2227, or you can email me at executive@manyelu.org.
All right, and if you want, if that was too much for you all at once, find a way to get a hold of me, and I'll be happy to send you brochures, or not brochures, but the flyer for the event and contact information. Sam, it was a terrific meeting with you, and even better to find out that you are a plugged in giver to the community with Manyelu.
Yes, and it was really wonderful meeting you.
I'll see you again soon, I'll bet. 9 o'clock in the morning, we're darn close to it, and maybe even tomorrow. I got $25 and might be able to lurk over there and grab me some of whatever Haagen-Dazs' version of Rocky Road ice cream is. The radio station that you're currently listening to, we're KUSG. My name is Ray Gibson. It's a thrill to be here with you. Another great hour of the program coming up, and I don't know, what are we going to talk about in the small talk section of the program? It might even be big talk. We'll find out together. You know, because I never know what the heck's going to be coming out of my mouth. Fox News Live is coming up next.
Conflicting Conflicting accounts. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. The Senate Judiciary Committee hearing for Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh wrapping up a short time ago about sexual assault allegations from 36 years ago. Asked by Hawaii Democrat Mazie Hirono about his temperament while serving on the bench, Kavanaugh said,
"For 12 years, everyone who's appeared before me on the D.C. Circuit has praised my judicial temperament. That's why I have the unanimous, well-qualified rating from the American Bar Association and all the people who've appeared before you."
So you would agree that temperament is also an important factor.
Republican Ted Cruz defending Kavanaugh.
We know that Dr. Ford identified 3 fact witnesses who she said observed what occurred. All 3 of those fact witnesses have stated on the record under penalty of perjury that they do not recall what she is alleging happening.
Christine Blasey Ford testified before the committee this morning. Ford, sometimes tearful, recounted an attack at a house party in suburban Washington, D.C. she says was committed by Kavanaugh and a friend. She told senators she was 100% sure it was Kavanaugh who tried to sexually assault her. An autistic boy from North Carolina missing for 6 days has been found dead. Fox's Steve Rappaport has more live.
Lisa Gastonia Police Chief Robert Helton says he's heartbroken after the discovery of a body believed to be that of Maddox Rich.
Our community's heartbroken, our searchers, our investigators. This is not the end that we had hoped for.
Ian Rich told police his 6-year-old son ran off while they were in a park last Saturday. Searchers locating the body more than a mile away. Rich says he has trouble running and feels guilty for letting his son get so far ahead of him. Lisa?
Steve, on Wall Street, the Dow gained 54 points, the Nasdaq up 51, the S&P added 8. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Grilled salmon, petite sirloin. Can't decide.
What are you doing?
Making my top 10 list of favorite dishes at Ruby Tuesday.
You really need to get a hobby.
But I can't decide. There's no way I can narrow down so many classic dishes to just 10.
Then it's a good thing Ruby Tuesday did it for you.
It's the all-time favorites menu at Ruby Tuesday Guam. We took our most popular dishes and put them on one great menu for only $14.99. Hickory pork chop, Parmesan shrimp pasta, prime loco moco. 10 top sellers at one great price. Pick your favorite for a limited time at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
Hyundai Construction Equipment is sold exclusively on Guam by Morico Equipment, a market leader with proven reliability in large excavators, loaders, and forklifts. Morico Equipment, with 28 years on Guam, offers Hyundai Construction Equipment sales, rental, parts, service, and fully maintained lease finance. Hyundai Equipment is in stock on Guam. Equipment demonstrations are available on request. Contact Morico Equipment on Ipao Road at 649-1946 or go to moricoequipment.com.
Tesla CEO Elon Musk in hot water with the Securities and Exchange Commission over those tweets in August where he wrote about taking the company private.
The SEC's complaint, which was filed earlier today in federal district court in the Southern District of New York, seeks a finding that Musk committed securities fraud, an injunction prohibiting him from doing so in the future, civil penalties, disgorgement of any ill-gotten gains, and a bar prohibiting Musk from serving as an officer or director of a public company in the future.
SEC Co-Director of Enforcement Stephanie Avakian. A new addition to the FBI's 10 most wanted list, the Bureau announcing a reward of up to $100,000 for information leading directly to the arrest of Greg Allen Carlson. They say the 48-year-old committed a burglary in July of last year, during which he attempted to sexually assault a woman while using a weapon. The FBI says he could be in any state or may have left the country. HBO pulling the plug on its boxing broadcast.
After 45 years, HBO is exiting the boxing ring. The cable broadcaster announcing Thursday it will drop its boxing coverage by the end of the year, saying in a statement they will pivot away from programming live boxing, looking at more events that could mix in with their programming for the future. The most recent card broadcast on HBO earlier this month drew an average audience of only 298,000 viewers, one of the lowest viewed fights in HBO history. The network has one more boxing card on its schedule, a World Championship boxing doubleheader next month in New York, but they could add on more events for November and December. Matt Napolitano, Fox News.
Comedian and former Daily Show host Jon Stewart has surprised construction workers at a New Jersey performing arts theater with a free lunch. Stewart appeared behind the window of the Sure Good Eats food truck outside the Count Basie Theater of the Arts in Red Bank. The theater is in the middle of a $26 million renovation project. He performed there in June and helped raise $50,000 for the project. Lisa Lacera, Fox News Radio.
Honolulu, Seattle, LA, Vegas, Chicago, New York. With your First Hawaiian Bank United Mileage Plus credit card, you can save 10% on United flights to these great cities and anywhere else in the U.S. Book your tickets at the United City Ticket Office, talk to your travel agent, or go to united.com and use promo code FHB18U. Visit FHB.com/United Fair Sale 18 for offer details and restrictions. Terms and conditions apply. First Hawaiian Bank, member FDIC.
It's time to start thinking about lunch because it's 9 o'clock on a Friday morning, and I know what you're thinking is you've got to make it through your day as efficiently as you possibly can. And so that, my friends, is why I'm telling you at 9:05 about going to eat lunch at King's. You don't have to think about it anymore. That's where you're going to go, and you're going, yeah, but what am I going to eat when I get there? You know what? They've got a daily lunch special. Today is Friday. Their lunch special today is beef tinaktak. Yeah, just like Mom made it. It's like your mom's in the kitchen. Not my mom. My mom wasn't a great cook. Yeah, my mom's thing was every once in a while I'd get home and it's just got that something smells good. What is that? And she'd be in the kitchen frying up some chicken livers. Chicken liver. She loved that. Onions, chicken livers, and then with some garlic and soy sauce.
Did you like that?
No.
Yeah.
No, not at all. not at all. And that was big time cooking for Mom. But yeah, beef tinaktak. Grandma made beef tinaktak, and she did it well. It's like Grandma's in the kitchen at King's.
It's important to have claims process that works for you. At Guahan Insurance Services, we make things simple and convenient. Same door you walk in to purchase your insurance is the same door you open to file your claim. We can't pretend that the car insurance claims process is fun, but we can promise a hassle-free and speedy recovery without any runarounds. For your home, auto, and business insurance, visit us at the Camacho Landmark Center on Marine Corps Drive in Tamuning. Don't forget to like us on Facebook or give us a call at 475-1162 or text 929-SAVE. That's 929-7283.
The Ray Gibson Show is brought to you by Guam Regional Medical City. First choice for all of your open heart surgery needs. American Water Tech, Smarter Water, Better Water, Micronesia Renewable Energy. Never been a better time to start thinking about going solar. And American President Lines. APL is shipping the future.
The first ever of anything is always special. That's why we're excited about the first ever 2018 Nissan Kicks. The Kicks kicks things up with best-in-class MPG, standard safety technology with automatic emergency braking system, and best-in-class cargo space to meet any lifestyle. Upgrades kicks things up with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and Bose driver headrest speakers. Over 1.4 million colorful options means your Kicks can be a first ever of its kind. The Kicks starts at under $20,000. Visit Nissan Guam for a test drive today. Nissan, innovation that excites.
I hear what you're saying. Hot pastrami, ladies and gentlemen. That's what the big deal is over at Subway. Although it seems to me though, if I was the Mr. Subway, I'd be touting the new VIP program that they've got there. It's not really new. They've always had a card, but now they've got an app, right? So we'll be one of these days we'll be able to order the sandwich the way we want it, and then maybe even pay for it by just waving it over a thing over at Subway, and all of the points that you amass. Right, and I think the deal is, what is it? After 100 points or something like that, they give you your own Subway store. The app will keep track of all of that stuff. Like, dude, this is so cool. Anyway, so that's what I would be talking about. But in this case, they want me to talk about the hot pastrami sandwich. And since I've already talked a lot about Subway, I'd just tell you this: they have hot pastrami sandwiches over at Subway, so get one today.
The Ray Gibson Show, your new News Talk headquarters. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Raymond Gibson Show, Raymond Gibson Show is supposed to be like News Talk Radio, and we've got plenty of news to talk about this morning. It's a Deadline Friday. That's what I'm referring to it as, because today is the last day that you will be able to get yourself lined up to go to the Department of Revenue and Taxation and pay your delinquent taxes and other fees without getting hit with late charges and penalties and all of that stuff. It was an idea that was floating around at the beginning of the fake fiscal crisis a few months ago, and you remember, and that was my point, is what fiscal crisis? What are we talking about here? It's just opportunities for people between Adelup and the legislature to fight like married people. Is this really something that's going to affect us? And it did, to the degree that we now have to live with what I predicted, and it came true, is going to be a permanent 5% gross receipts tax here on Guam. We are capable of increasing and lowering the taxes kind of at our will. But now that it's in place, You know, the conventional wisdom around here is the business community, even if it went back down to 4%, would probably not drop their prices to reflect the change in the gross receipts tax. And it ain't because they're greedy. It's because that's the nature of business. That's the nature of business. If I've got a widget and I know that you'll pay $10 for it, then I'm going to sell it for $10, unless somebody else is selling widgets for $9. And then I might drop my price to match his, or bring my prices down so low that it forces them out of business. But if you're the only one in the widget community, chances are pretty good you're going to leave things where they are, and that's just the way it is. So we're stuck with the prices that we're at right now. And that's an awful thing. But anyway, that was what they were talking about then, and all of these other things that they could put in place. And they were talking about tax amnesty. And I said, okay, let's do a tax amnesty then. Let's play some of that. But they didn't for a long time. And I think it wasn't until the legislature said, you guys, what fiscal crisis? Why are we not taking advantage of this vehicle to bring some dough into the government of Guam? And so far, it's supposed to have been working pretty good. You know, in the tune of millions of dollars that have been brought in, and millions more perhaps after the deadline has passed, and people that have made that 10% down payment on their late fees might be able to go in and get it all covered before the close of business today. The other deadline is for Government of Guam employees. Today is the last day for open enrollment. Your choices are Select Care and Take Care. That's it. Staywell's out of the game. Netcare is out of the game. And so if you're a GovGuam employee or retiree, those are the plans. Supposed to be about the same price as they were last year. But my recollection is that there have been some changes, including, I think, changes to gross receipts tax, et cetera, that they're going to have to recover over at Select Care. So anticipate that the numbers that you are paying now are going to be different than they next time in the next plan that you sign up for. So those are a couple of the big deadlines that I've been talking about today. But it's also a great day for technology people. Today, on the Technology Watch, speaking of watches, is now the Apple Watch. And I have one here on my hand, on my wrist. And it's on my right hand because I've still got the Garmin on my left hand. And the reason is because the watch on my right hand needs to be connected up to an iPhone that I don't have. Hey, Mikey, you got a spare iPhone you might be able to loan a brother?
I've never even had one iPhone.
Okay, so this is the spooky thing is I know where in the building there are two iPhones. Yeah, that we use on the other two radio stations. And it's the weekend. So I'm thinking maybe I might commandeer one of those until I'm able to get my hands. The XSs, and I don't know, it's an Apple thing. I believe that they've got them or they are on the way. But we're not able to sell them yet. Guam, for some reason, has got different embargo dates. Today is the date for Apple Watch Series 4 to go on sale. You can go in 45 minutes. Go to Beyond the Box in Pleasure Island in Tumon, and you'll be able to get yourself an Apple Watch Series 4. They come in space gray, silver, and gold, and they got different styles of bands that you can get with the phone. The phone comes in two sizes, 40 millimeter and 44 millimeter. Different prices for each of them. All of them boast bigger screens, and they've got features that are good for keeping track of your health and working out and other activities on a daily basis. They've got a gizmo on the back of this now that a combination of touch this and then touch something else, and it will make an ECG for you that you can see on an app. And if there's something in there that scares you, you send it to a doctor.
Really? Yeah. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it'll give a PDF that you can mail out to somebody.
But, you know, one of our fine Facebook viewers referred to the band as gray.
What color is this?
No, that's got some sort of really cool sounding name.
Seashell.
Right? Yeah.
I think it's Seashell.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. What does it say on the box? Yeah, Seashell Sport Loop.
Yeah, see?
Is what it is. Nice. The only thing about this, and I'm as a runner, this will be interesting because we all have bacteria. They may get Terry DeBold on the line. He's a football star, etc. There's a certain bacteria that creeps out of your pores and with the sweat, and it gets onto clothes and it gets onto anything that's made out of some kind of material. And I'm a little bit concerned that this strap, after I've run with it a few times, will take on an aroma. Terry, you know what I'm talking about, right, bro?
Not football, but wrestling shoes start smelling like that after.
Yeah, right? But they're supposed to be, I forget what it is. You wash it in vinegar or, I don't know, there's 20 other things that you can wash your running, your athletic clothes in, so it gets rid of the smell. Facebook Live people, tell me what they are and where I can buy them to make sure that this never gets any kind of aroma. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, thank you, Ray. Good morning.
It's always a pleasure. And so a little bit of a disclosure now. Number one, Terry DeBold and I have known each other since forever. Number one. Number two, and I've actually been a customer of GU self-storage.
Yes, you are. Thank you very much for your patronage, Ray. And yeah, you and I go back beyond the members only jacket. Your sisters and I have always been very close. Yeah, I feel like I'm part of the family.
Well, you're definitely part of the family, and we're always wondering if you're okay and if you're working, and the answer is yes, he's okay and he's working at GU Self Storage. So I saw this, and it lit into my imagination like you couldn't believe. You're going to have an auction of some of the storage, the items that are stored in some of the units that haven't been paid for over at GU Self Storage.
Yeah, actually, that's correct. We've gone through a procedure, and unfortunately, we have a good number of customers, maybe close to 300 customers, tenants. We call them tenants here. And, of course, you're going to have every now and then a situation where a unit has not been, the requirements haven't been fulfilled.
So does the government of Guam have any of those units?
No, they don't. Actually, no.
I'm just curious. I wanted because you're talking about deadbeat customers. So I was wondering if maybe the government of Guam might be one of them.
Has that been the topic of discussion today?
It's always the topic. No. Even Neats, my friend Neats on Facebook Live says storage wars. So tell me, Terry, that you got the guys from KUAM to come over and film some of the auctioning that's going to be going on and some of the reveals.
No, we haven't gone that far. Actually,
do it! Come on! Tell Lenny to.
Ray. So, this isn't, in the States, I guess you'd have these professional auctioneers.
Yeah.
At this point, it sounds like it appears I'm going to be the one that has to stand up there and kind of use numbers.
Blake Watson. Call Blake Watson over at Star 101. He knows how to do that auctioning talk.
Does he really?
Yes. Yes, he does.
I didn't know that. You know what? I'm going to take you up on that offer. That's fantastic.
But I'm just saying, you got to have the guys call Joseph over in the cameraman over at KUAM and I'd offer him $50 or something like that just to videotape everything, and you can make your own storage wars. Be like GU Storage Wars, right? GU Self Storage Wars.
GU Self Storage Wars. Well, here's the deal. So we're going to ask custom. The auctioning starts at 10 a.m. That's tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. right here at GU Self Storage. It's going to be indoors. We've basically taken the items and placed them into other larger units, so you're going to be able to see everything that's going to be auctioned. Of course, we're not taking things out of bags. Some of the stuff, there might be clothes or whatever.
Oh, so you wait. So unlike Storage Wars, which is it's sight unseen. I mean, they've got the garage doors closed, and you just I think they open it up a little bit. Are they on Storage Wars? They are allowed to see. Okay, I thought it was sight unseen. Okay, hold on a second. I got a Storage Wars expert.
Look, but you cannot touch anything, but you can look
and see what's in front.
Right, in the Storage Wars.
You make your best offer on it. Some of the things, of course, are pretty obvious to see. We have, there are some pretty, what I would think are going to be interesting items for people. I think some people are going to like some of these items. We have there's going to be some sports gear, some tools, other types of a lot of household items, clothes. And but we're breaking them down into lots. In the States, they just have such a large, I guess, economy scale allows them to do it the way they do it, where they just say, here, you bid on this. They open the door and you throw your number in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's a bunch of people out there, and they make an offer. They don't know what's in the back of the unit, though. Right.
So that's where some of the really unique treasures come from, and make it so that people are able to look at it and say, okay, I ought to be able to liquidate this stuff at a flea market or whatever, for more than what I've paid at the auction.
Yes, and I think we looked at it, and it's kind of a requirement on our part to do our best, do our due diligence to get as much as we possibly can when we
of course
when we auction these items. Also for the tenant, whoever was the tenant, it wouldn't be right to just sell it for $10 because we can't see what's in back.
Well, the other part of this, and I'm kind of making a big deal about it today and a little bit of a big deal about it yesterday, because I think this for some of the tenants now that might be listening going, yeah, I guess I do owe Terry and Leonard some money. Is it too late for them to come and give you, to get current with you so that their stuff's not auctioned?
Actually, all of our stuff is very current, right? I mean, for the most part, we really don't have problems. I think in over a year, this is the first time, and it's a few units. It's like maybe 5 units worth of things. So
but it's 5 units of treasure, Terry.
Fortunate, Ray. Honestly, on this island, we've been really fortunate.
Yeah, but it's 5 units worth of treasure and loot. Then we don't.
You're right.
So I don't know. So 10 o'clock tomorrow morning over at GU Self Storage. It's cash and carry only. So hit the ATM today. Take out a couple of bucks. And like I said, I was a tenant. The reason why I wasn't, I only needed it to bridge. I needed to move things from one place, store it temporarily, and then move it to another. And that's why I was a customer. And I tell you what,
this is the most common, which is really the most common thing. I mean, it's people who are whose kids come back from school or kids go out to school and they want to have that extra room. It's people who are moving, relocating from one place to another, renovating their houses. There are situations perhaps too where you have a member of the family that passes away and you need to put their things somewhere safe. So there's a variety of different customers that utilize storage facilities like this.
Well, and I'll tell you what, from the and I've seen other storage places, the way they do business, and these guys are absolute state of the art. Security is primo. Oh my God, the security there is unbelievable. I mean, everything is coded from the second. It's not like you can even get to where they have the storage units without keying in some kind of security code that you get in there. It is temperature controlled. It's actually very comfortable there. The temperature is controlled, the humidity is controlled, and I like the way you've done the layout, at least upstairs, where each row is a village. It's named after a village. So you go, where are you at? I'm 1503 Dedido, right?
Right. That's correct. It makes it easier than trying to remember which row you were in. So we brought a local flavor to it, obviously. And I think the other thing I want to make sure customers understand, whatever isn't sold tomorrow for whatever reason, we're going to be donating it to charity. So if there's clothing or those kind of things left out that just for some reason they're still left here, we will take them to one of the charities, and hopefully it'll help other families here on Guam that perhaps need those items. All right, and to answer a question that many people bring up to me because they know of our relationship, is the answer is that big tank downstairs is filled with Miller beer. You're absolutely right. We're going to have we're going to put the spigot outside pretty soon.
Right. Oh, one other thing, and it's kind of a co-located business. If you need a conference room, they've got a nice conference room out there that Terry will lease to you. Probably give it to you if you just ask him real nice. And there's a mail place inside. So if you're one of those people that every once in a while needs to ship something out and don't want to stand in line over at the post office, they've got like a little mailboxes place in there.
Yes, we do. Mail Hub is here. We have a good number of customers that use the mailboxes here. You don't have to wait in line at the post office.
No, the thing is, I know a lot of people that buy a lot of porno, and you don't necessarily want the mailman looking at that.
I do not go into that section at all. But they do. Mail Hub does a great job. They also pack people's things for mailing things out. I know my family uses it. Instead of waiting in line, we just bring our items if we're shipping something, and they'll pack it nicely, and they'll take it to the post office for us.
Well, people are wondering, what did Terry do to get all of this free advertising on the radio? And nothing, just doing something that I thought was interesting here, and that is having a public auction in the self-storage place, and it got me thinking about Storage Wars, and I couldn't just talk about it. I needed to talk to you.
We're going to try to make it fun. I think because whoever shows up tomorrow, the audience will have a good chance to get some good items, like you said, some treasures, and it'll be interesting to see something like this on Guam. We don't have auctions traditionally.
Well, like I said, so get it on film, and even if they don't run it at KUM, have somebody get it on film, do some basic editing on it, and throw it up on YouTube, and I'd be happy to link to that. My friend Neats is asking on Facebook Live, totally need a storage unit 10 by 10. What's your inventory these days? You got any of the small ones? Oh, 10 by 10's not small.
Yes, we do. I believe the 10 by 10 people on Guam love the small ones. The 5 by 5, it's like the size of a closet.
Yeah.
And my gosh, it's those ones. There's always a waiting list. It's just constant. In fact, we're going to be modifying some of our larger units to make more 5 by 5s. We've done it once already, and it's like within a month from renovating, we added like 16 5 by 5s, and they were gone within a month. And there's a lot of people that just need that little bit of extra storage to put their stuff in.
Yep.
And, the place here, you have access to it from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., 365 days a year. So it's not like it's inaccessible.
I've done stuff there as soon as sunrise. So I'm happy about that. So, Neats, if you want, give Terry a call. The office number is 648-7867.
That's correct. And we're here all the way from 9 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Conveniently located, of course, we are in the former GPA building next to McDonald's in Harmon.
I call it the old Payless.
Yeah, the old Payless. There you go. And tomorrow morning, if you're interested in participating, 9 o'clock, they can be here. They can start registering because you have to get a number. Of course, it's an auction. We don't remember the names. We're going to just be going by numbers, same as the lots. So try to make it as official as possible. The gates, like you said, there is security in the gates. We'll have the gates open for people to come in that participate in the auction. Because we still have to maintain a level of security.
Yeah.
Security up there. It'll be down on the first floor, but once you come in, you'll be guided to the right direction.
All right. Looking forward to watching the process with the GU self-storage wars.
Thank you so much.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you pretty soon. Terry DeBold.
Take care.
I will. You have a good weekend. Stay safe. GU self-storage and the public auction that's going to be taking place. And if he doesn't get the photographer down there, then maybe you ought to think about going down there and asking if you can shoot video and then make your own show out of it. I think that would be just loads of fun. 9:26 in the morning, and that a number. I may go just to watch it. Just to watch the process and to see what can happen, because arguably somebody's going to open up something cool and they might not want it, and so you go, well, thanks very much for the auction. Now, what are you willing to sell that to me for on the spot?
There's
so I
going to
can recover some of that cash.
There's got to be some electronics and that storage stuff, and in any of it's going to be worth more than the $50 you might bid on it.
Yeah, well. Okay.
I'm just saying, we're going to start low and go. But.
I know. So I was messing around yesterday with what we used to call a receiver, and it's one of these gizmos, got an amp on it, and it's got all kinds of speaker outs, and it's got all kinds of inputs for a cassette deck that I don't have anymore. It's got an input for a turntable that I don't have anymore, and it's an AM/FM radio. And I've got AM/FM radios in every room in the house. They're like reading glasses. There's just one there. Just I need to hear something. And so I was looking at this thing, and I was wondering, I was thinking out loud to myself, am I going to bother wiring this up to speakers and, getting sound in the living room or in the playroom or wherever it is that I'm going to be spending the majority of my time? And honestly, the answer was no. Because, I've got one of those Bose speakers. Remember when they came with the and you dropped your iPhone into it, and that was how you listened to your favorite songs on the Bose. Well, they've got Bluetooth adapters because this thing is old. It's got the old Bose. It's got the old Apple connector on it. Okay. And so I got a Bluetooth adapter that fits on that connector now, and I've given it value again. And so that's frankly what I've been listening to. If I'm not listening to the radio, then that's the thing, and it Bluetooth pairs with my phone, and that's how I'm listening to my old Devo and Kate Bush and Squeeze and Elton John tracks, and Alice Cooper tracks. Also, Alice Cooper. No more Mr. Nice Guy. No more Mr. He. So I'm probably not going to be making that investment now. I will change my mind if I find the right kind of amplifier, but I don't know that I need, the big whole receiver and big speaker setup anymore.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do.
You do.
Okay, thank you.
You need to completely restore it back to its fully functional, pristine condition. Buy an album of Pink Floyd, The Wall, and some of those $300 headphones, and you know the rest.
Yeah.
That's the only way you'll get that sound.
Actually, because the world changed at some point. I'm not sure when it was. In my daughter's lifetime.
Yeah.
When I was a little boy, when I was in my 40s, the idea was I wanted big, loud, clean speakers in the house.
Yeah.
And so I bought big, loud, clean speakers.
Cool.
Yeah, a subwoofer over there in the corner because you got to have a subwoofer. I used to have a really, really good turntable. These things were important to me. Getting a television set, I bought the largest screen that I could afford. And at the time, it was a 47-inch. And you can go and buy a 47-inch panel TV now for, what, a couple $100?
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. You get these things 65, 75 inches wide, diagonal, if you want. And so you buy it, and you know what the kids are watching? They're watching the small screen on their phone.
Yeah.
That's what they're watching, their television shows and their music videos and all of that stuff. Their movies, they're watching it on this thing. And you say, hey, come home, I got a 65-inch TV. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Whatever. You still want to watch TV with? No, I want to watch my own show on my own phone. That's and you go, okay, well, what about music? What do you want to listen to? You want to listen to it on big speakers? I got headphones.
See, and I just got this 7-edge, Samsung 7-edge. Came with all the goodies, had the little headphones in there, and I plugged them in the other day because I was a little bored. That was just crap. It's just crap, lad.
The headphones that came with this Samsung 8 are AKG headphones.
Okay.
So I know that somebody put some thought into what they sounded like, and I thought they sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought they sounded pretty good. And then of course my friend Renee over at Guam Hearing Doctors gave me this pair of headsets. They're in-ear monitors by a company called West Tone.
Yeah.
And these things they're put together just like high-end speaker systems.
Okay.
There are two different drivers in each one of them, and the audio comes out of two little holes, and they meet in the one hole that sticks into my ear.
You get high and low.
So I get highs. Yeah, I get highs and lows, and this the Samsung phone, the acoustic, the audio features of the Samsung phone are actually pretty good. You can change the waveform if you want to. It won't let you do compression and things like that, but you can add reverbs and depths and things like that. So that combined with a high end set of headphones, and yeah, I don't need a big honking Sansui 12-inch speaker systems at the house anymore.
Yeah, subwoofer.
Makes a difference.
That's a Chihuahua, right?
It makes a difference. 9:31 in the morning, and deep into the small talk. Remind me when we come back from the break that I need to spend a little bit more time talking about. So we got to hear from talking about the Apple Watch. You remember? 20 minutes ago. I love the way this show works in my head. It's 9:32 in the morning. The Ray Gibson Show continues. That's iConnect time. iConnect is the practical choice. Great prices on push-to-talk and mobile and internet plans. My guy, check them out today by calling 888-8888.
Once upon a time, if you suffered a stroke, an extreme form of cancer, or needed specialized care like open heart surgery, patients had to go off-island for treatment. Today, GRMC provides this care, so patients recover on Guam, surrounded by loved ones. Follow-up care happens locally, and there are no additional expenses for a caregiver to travel with you. If you're a GovGuam employee or retiree, choose Calvo Select Care, the only insurance plan that includes GRMC.
I need to tell you, and I have the script here, although I don't think I need it anymore. Cold Stone Creamery has awesome flavors. And they awesome flavors just all the time, right? You go in there and you know you're going to find something that is going to be a real treat for your mouth. But every once in a while, they come up with something new that you've got to try. Banana bread, battered ice cream. They have sea salt caramel ice cream made with premium Ghirardelli sea salt caramel sauce in this great new creation that they've got there. Celebrating 30 years of the ultimate ice cream experience. It's Cold Stone Creamery.
We get it. Gas and utility rates keep rising with no end in sight. But with Double Play from GTA, you can get an extra sweet deal that'll save you extra cash. Sign up today and get 50 megabits per second with fiber home internet, unlimited talk and text, plus 25 gigabytes of wireless data. And new customers get the first month free with no contract. Save over $500 in the first year and get extra with Double Play from GTA. Conditions apply. Visit gta.net for more details.
What is This, what am I reading here? It's at 9:34, and I've been tagged on a message thread on Facebook with Melissa Blake, who is feeling, quote, pissed off, talking with my mom about how things are going with the aftermath of the typhoon, and she's telling me about how her conversation with the mayor went when he told her, "What makes you think that I'm going to help you when I can't even help my father and he's disabled? You want me to help you just because you're disabled? What the blank, Muff? Can I just send you the emails?" Send it, Mom. Send it blanking now. Huh. This deserves a little bit more analysis. Okay. We'll just ask which mayor is this that said that? Because there's some of them that are up for re-election. I think so. And maybe the other constituents, maybe the other residents in the village maybe need to know a little bit more about that. Currently 9:35, if you're keeping track of time. I only say the time because it's a force of habit. I've discovered recently that I am not all that interested in keeping track of time much anymore. I know when I'm coming to work. I know. There's something happening with the air conditioner because it's a little bit warm in this. You know why? Because we're so hot. That's what it is. Because a hot show going on today. It's Friday morning. And items in the table of contents today. As I said, Apple Watch, go and grab yours. They're on sale at 10 o'clock this morning over at Beyond the Box in Pleasure Island. Space gray with different bands. We've got silver in different bands and gold with different colored bands. Comes in a couple of sizes, 40 millimeter and 44 millimeter. They make them bigger so you can accomplish more screen size. Now, this is important. This is maybe the most important feature of the iWatch that I was excited about because it's larger. I've had the LASIK procedure and don't need glasses to see anything way over there. But I need glasses to be able to see things in front of me. And the factor in watch selection is whether or not I can read the watch without having to put my glasses on. There is going to be a Series 4 Nike for those of you that are like true believers in your sports, and there's a separate price for that and a separate availability date. They should be in town next Friday over at Beyond the Box, and I'll let you know when they're coming out with the new Apple phone models and new iPhones. If you want to get a taste of what's in the new iPhones, there's new software. My iPad is going to get updated here at the end of the program, so it'll be interesting to see what new features are going to be in that set as well. 888-8255. John's on the line. Good morning, John.
Hi, good morning. Matt, I would love to buy the new iPhone if I have my refund.
Oh, well, you should have your refund in hand any minute now.
Man, that's what I keep hearing. But last night I saw, I believe it might be on the Post too, that I guess there was some technical difficulties with 7,000 checks. And they had to, supposedly mailed it out yesterday.
My understanding is that it's a total of $50 million worth of tax refund checks that are supposed to be flying around the mail right now.
Yeah, and then I've got a mully that works at the post office.
Yeah.
So I just asked her, said, hey, did you see any refunds? Is the weekend going to be good for a lot of them? And she said she didn't see one batch of refunds yet. She said she saw the most maybe on Monday. Monday she saw like maybe close to 3,000 checks only. And when I said, oh, but on the news they said it was 7,000 checks by Thursday or something like that.
Yeah.
She's like, she hasn't seen it.
Has not seen it. More than now, this is what the governor's office said. Their drama department wrote this to me. It says more than 7,000 tax refund checks will be mailed out Monday. The $15 million in checks are for status A returns filed by April 16th. And this is a companion to a press release that went out last week that said that $35 million worth of checks would be mailed out effective Monday this week. So what you're saying is your Mully has only seen the first batch, but has not seen the second batch, and she won't until next week when those 7,000 checks hit the post office.
Okay, yeah, because I remember I was reading somewhere that there was some electronic problems with some checks, and then they noted out just yesterday, Thursday.
Yeah, that's sorry, man. That's news to me. I'll see what I can find out. They're real busy over at the Department of Revenue and Tax. They've got the tax deadline today, and they've got to make sure that the status A's are all right.
Yeah.
I'll find out. I'll see what we can find out. If I can get the information before I get off the air at 10 o'clock, then we'll do it that way. But the folks over at the Guam Daily Post always have the radio on, so if there is a glitch, if there is an issue, they can dig into it as well. And you've already got their app, right?
Yes, sir. Got that and yours.
All right, that's groovy. So you now know everything that I know?
Yes, sir.
Hey, have a good one. Now, when did you file your tax return?
February 28th.
February the 28th. Okay, so you're definitely in this batch because they've got them all through April the 16th now, which means that anybody that is filed, unless there's an issue with your return, in which case you either will be or have been notified that there's a problem, you ought to be getting a check. And Neat's also reminding me that do you owe the government of Guam any money anywhere?
Several years ago, they garnished from GMH. But I'm all clear. I went to Revenue Tax just to make sure.
Yep.
And on Monday, and the lady told me I should be receiving it this week.
And the whole check at that?
Yes.
Dude, call me when you get it.
Yes, I will.
Right on. John, you have a terrific weekend, buddy.
You too, sir. Thank you.
Think about all of the different places where you can go and spend that tax refund dough. I know what you're thinking. It's a gift from the government of Guam. No, it's not. That's your money. You overpay in the taxes. And maybe this year is the year that you go talk to the lady in accounting about adjusting your withholding so that you are, I don't want to say underpaying because that has a tone like you're trying to avoid something, but make it so that you owe the government. It's more fun for you to owe the government because that means that you've got access to all of that capital all year round. Just make sure that that you're not underpaying too severely, because otherwise it'll be tax return time and you'll end up owing them $10,000, and your sole response will be, yeah, but FestPac was fun. I had a good time at FestPac. What do we got? Where's the fun quote here? Did they take an opportunity to take a swipe at the legislature? Of course they did. Of course they did. In the last 7 to 8 years, we have kept up with the tax refunds, and though I would have liked to leave a very clear path that would have helped the next administration do the same, there were others in the legislature whose actions were ruled more by politics than setting our government up for success in the future, Governor Calvo stated. Every solution we put forward that required the legislature's authorization, whether it was the bond in 2011 or the TRAN in 2017, both of which would have opened the door to faster tax refunds for our people, were delayed and denied, respectively.
Denied.
I'm looking at that. My eyes roll. I love you, Eddie, but you're making my eyes roll, bro. It's over. BJ's not there anymore. What? That's the nature of the business here. Sometimes you're going to get what you want. Sometimes I would say I would. How do you want to do this, guys? Does anybody want to do an autopsy on the Calvo administration? And one of these days, take a look at all. He's touting a couple of losses there that he got over at the legislature. But I will tell you from my observations that this administration has been probably more successful than any other administration prior to it in bamboozling the people over at the legislature. Just bamboozling is the way that I refer to it, because sometimes these guys don't know if. Something shot something, another word I can't say on the radio, et cetera, right? They every once in a while you see them and they've got that faraway look in their eyes. They're miles away because they have no idea just how bad they got suckered by the administration. And of course, it's my job in the media to report on those on a going forward basis. Unfortunately, I don't have all of the details on that in front of me, but if you just think about it, and just think about all the times that the legislature had unwittingly done the administration's bidding because they didn't understand the process, just at least 2 or 3 times a year. At least 2 or 3 times a year. So there's probably going to be more of that. 888-8255 is the telephone number. Going over the table of contents and the things that I still haven't had a chance to talk about, but I want you to know that I've observed them. I've observed them here. Today, they've got a couple of people in the jewelry shop heist.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know why? Because social media, that's why.
Yeah.
Here's what happens. All you got to do anymore is take a shot of somebody doing something wrong, and then the police, it'll circulate into social media, and somebody will drop a dime on them. Somebody will drop a dime, call the guys over at the police department. Oh, I know that guy in the video. That's my idiot cousin. Arrest him, would you? And his skanky girlfriend, too. I'm not referring to the individuals in this case, of course.
Of course not.
No, never.
She looked like she was crying in that picture.
She's busted.
Yeah, well,
you got to go to girl jail now. It's not as fun as it looks on TV, and Orange is the New Black thing. It's real life girl jail that you have to go to now because you were allegedly involved in that in the jewelry store heist. I hope it was worth it. I hope it was worth it. Also very interesting to me is the AG's interest now in the case that involves the Guam International Airport, Lodi, and Duty Free and DFS, which we've been knocking around for a long time, and it's surprising now at this late juncture that the Attorney General's office is interested in it from a criminal investigation level. Wow. So who in that hooey of three that we've got there? Is there somebody at the airport that may be involved in a criminal way about this case? Is it somebody at Lodi that they've got eyes on in a criminal investigation? Is it somebody at DFS where they're looking at possible breach of the law?
Wow.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know who the investigator is, and I don't know what they're looking at, but it's one of those things where I think when that shoe drops. Oh, and by the way, if you want to leak, hey, Romeo, I see you there, buddy. What do you know about that one, Romy? 888-8255. You can send leaks if you want to our WhatsApp number, 988-5847, if you want to do it that way, or Ray Gibson Show at gmail.com. Guam Solid Waste Authority looking to borrow $23 million. And this is the way this is going to happen. They're now telegraphing that they need $23 million. Right. Now, the guys in the government of Guam are not going to just roll over and give them access to $23 million worth of a loan.
Well, why not?
Because if the people in the government of Guam want $23 million, they ain't going to do it for the dump. They're going to do it for them. This would become re-election money for them.
Yeah.
What's that? $23 million?
Sounds like a trend.
Yeah. Well, they tell you what, if we're going to borrow that, then I want it for me. I'm going to want it for my projects. You stinking dump. You guys figure it out yourselves.
We can't equalize any other way.
So here's what will happen. Write it down and put the date and say, okay, on Ray Gibson Show on September 28th, he said this is how it's going to, because this is the way it's going to go. The people in the government of Guam are going to say, screw you and your $23 million loan request. At which point, Darth Manning, will go to see the lady over at the court, Judge Tydenko Gatewood, and say, they're not letting me have $23 million because they don't like me. Judge, make them like me. And the judge will put out an order for the government of Guam to, with haste and efficiency, command Jay Rojas and the guys over at GITA to take out a $23 million and give the check to David Manning over at GSWA. That is my prediction. If it goes any other way, I'll eat a bug.
A bug. What kind of bug? Got to be specific. What kind of bug?
Ant. A small ant. A little small, little tiny ant that I won't hardly...
We'll put a little chocolate on it, too.
I won't hardly notice. What do you think I was going to say? Brown tree snake or rhinoceros beetle or something like that? Get out of here with that noise. I'm not going to eat a real bug.
Crispy fried tarantula.
I'll eat a bug. You know what? I'll eat a bug that looks like fried chicken. That's what I'm going to do. It's a fried chicken bug. But I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm just telling you that's the way that's going to happen. Watch when it does and say that I called it just like that. There's GMH is current with the retirement. I don't know if I want to make a big deal about them doing it right. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to keep it current with those guys. And then maybe, no, it's not. Is it finally or not finally? Two jugheads walking around Mighty with machetes.
And weird names.
What's wrong with this picture? What we're going to have to start doing is background checks. My friend Melissa from the courthouse She got a great idea. Apparently now we need to do background checks to sell Micronesians machetes. Because otherwise they're going to do something stupid, go get drunk, go walk around and accost ladies and say, do you have money or beer? Yeah. All of the women walking around in my village are carrying beer. What kind of stupid stuff?
And the thing is, we
got to get used to. We apparently have to get used to it. And if you say something about it, you're getting branded as a racist. Yeah. And that's starting to get. It's starting, I think, to get out of hand. People have to be able to have a conversation about some of these migrants that are coming here that are unprepared to live in this century. And we need to be more forceful about having this conversation. It's hard to do when every time you open your mouth and try to start talking about it, somebody brands you as racist. Mm-hmm. Well, all right. Well, if that's the case, if I can't talk about it, can you guys do a little bit more talking about it so that people know that there are expectations for the visitors that come here, quote, to improve their lives? By walking around asking people at machete point whether they've got beer and money.
Maybe they consider being in a better jail a life improvement.
I'm thinking what's going to have to happen here. It's not going to have to happen. What's going to happen, and I hate to make this prediction, is they're going to come up against the wrong bunch of guys. Yeah. And you don't bring a machete to a gunfight.
Well, that was my thought earlier. It was like, you know, if you had been one of the ladies they hooked up with when they gotten mighty and started trying to wave machetes and robbing people, we'd have a whole different story to talk about.
Yes, you're correct. You're absolutely correct. There's boys I see walking around the house sometimes when I pull up, and I hate to profile. But I'm not going to be a victim. So, you know, as I see these fellas walking around, you know, I'll make a pad over on the side of my poncho and make it very clear that that's not a wallet in my pocket. That's don't mess with this guy, because you mess with the bull, you're going to get the horns. There is an interesting photograph that my friend Bob sent me this morning, and I'm putting it up on Facebook Live here, just to share it, because it's something that I'd kind of forgotten was out there and available. This is a picture of the couple that has been arrested with the allegations of robbing what's the name of the Mania store? Silver Mania, whatever it is?
I think so, yeah.
Anyway, so here's a security camera, and the guy's waving at it.
Yeah. He probably thought it was a fake. Whoops, surprise.
What?
It actually worked.
BH. Bonehead. 9:51. Do I have to take another break? I should. All right, let's take the break, and then I'll finish up with the other chat about some of the other interesting headlines this morning.
Grilled salmon, petite sirloin. Can't decide.
What are you doing?
Making my top 10 list of favorite dishes at Ruby Tuesday.
You really need to get a hobby.
But I can't decide. There's no way I can narrow down so many classic dishes to just 10.
Then it's a good thing Ruby Tuesday did it for you.
It's the all-time favorites menu at Ruby Tuesday Guam. We took our most popular dishes and put them on one great menu for only $14.99. Hickory pork chop, Parmesan shrimp pasta, prime loco moco, 10 top sellers at one great price. Pick your favorite for a limited time at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
Cheese curls and hot sauce, pantosta and coffee. Great alone, but better together. Here's another perfect pair for you. Docomo Pacific has created the Better Together bundle, combining 2 great services for one low price. Get unlimited local talk, text, and 20 gigs of data, plus unlimited home internet speed up to 20 megabits for $109 per month. You also get free installation and a Galaxy A8 Plus when you sign up today. Mobile plus online from Docomo Pacific. Better Together. Some conditions apply. Call 688-KRC store for details.
Sorry, whoever is wrote in on the Facebook, I'm sorry, the WhatsApp. What was the caller's name at 9:41? Who was I talking to at around? That was Terry DeBold. Terry's the only guy we've had on the phone this hour, right? Who? Oh, John. Oh, the guy. Oh, sorry, that's
taxes, right. Yeah.
That's less than 20 minutes ago, and I already forgot. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Sorry, distracted easily. I'm one of those guys. Other items in the table of contents, and you ought to see what I've left on that I haven't gotten to this week, because it's just so much stuff talking about in the program. There's the idea that the national, it's another story I saw today, national gas prices are going up. They are now at higher than they've been in the last 2 years.
And we're going to giggle, aren't we? when we hear the number.
Yeah. So nationally, the gas prices are going up, and people are freaking out because they're paying $2.86 a gallon on average across the United States of America. And I will tell you, I will unfriend you if I see any of that crap on my Facebook feed where people are complaining about gas prices as high as $2.85 here in Modesto, California, or Vallejo, California, or Bremerton, Washington, D.C., or any other places where there's a lot. I will unfriend you like that. Shut up with your $2.86 a gallon gas. I put gasoline in my car yesterday for $4.43. And the lady on the intercom, right? They have that at the mobile gas station. The lady on the intercom, she says, "Would you like to fill it up?" I laughed for 10 minutes. What do you fill it up? Lady, that's $70 here.
You got a loan application?
It's the weekend, baby. Monday, I might put some more gas in the car. But in the meantime, it's the weekend. I need that for bar tabs, hon. Fill it up on a Thursday, Friday. Get out of here with that nonsense. All right, so that's and I would suggest you do the same thing. I'd be very aggressive with these people and tell them I'm unfriending you because you're a dumb. You're aggravated at $2.85 a gallon, and probably in a lot of places cheaper because you can buy them like at home clubs.
Right. Oh yeah, like you can go to a Costco or something like that.
And they have gas stations there, and you pay member prices.
Yeah, it's about 30 cents on the average, 30 cents a gallon cheaper.
Yeah, I'm doing everything. You know, I was so mad at myself yesterday because I forget where it was. Cost You Less.
Yes.
Right, I bought some stuff over at Cost You Less, and as part of the package, you know, they give you these coupons that you can use for like $5 off on Shell gasoline.
Oh, nice.
They all expired at the end of August.
Nice.
And I'm going,
it's the thought that counts.
Thinking, do I know anybody over at Shell that I can have them extend this up just a little bit? Because, I mean, it was a stack of them. I had. I bought a lot of stuff over at Cost You Less.
Get a little white out and a pen.
Yeah, and so, and then the other thing is, I guess, is it McDonald's now? If you buy something at McDonald's, they give you a $2 off thing over at Mobile.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
so I definitely used that. I definitely used that yesterday when I was doing the thing. So that's how I, and if you go to Exxon 76.
Okay.
If you're Staywell, then you get a discount.
I had no idea.
Yep. Got to ask for those. I think there's a couple of certain bank cards. You can also get a discount on those as well. I mean, that's at this point, that's what you got to do. Gasoline, $4.43 a gallon. You look for every discount, every opportunity that you've got. I even asked for senior citizens discount. Because I can now. 9:56 a.m. at the 93.3 FM. That's where we are here on the actual radio. Manhunt cost $4.3 million, of which we hope that $4.3 million will get ourselves recompensed. Still haven't gotten, that I'm aware of, on to the ground on the Department of Education. And a story that's been picked up by practically everybody else, but I've been watching this for a few days, how are they going to keep the schools clean?
Yeah,
they're in the midst of a procurement crisis there on custodial services, and again, I will make the pitch here to John Fernandez and Mark Mendiola. If you can, I would heavily suggest investing in brooms and mops and dust pans and rags and a bottle of Windex, and hand them out to each teacher to hand out to each classroom.
The fact is, you could turn it into a curriculum item. Home economics or something. Life lesson class, I don't know. It's a lesson in life. It'll help them.
Teach people how to clean. Don't sweep into the corner, as Mom said. You'll never get that stuff out. There are going to be some other places where you might have somebody's got to have a skill involved, like the guy that's got to polish the floors. But it seems to me a lot of the work that needs to get done can be done by the students in the class. Why not? It's the way we did it. Once a week, everybody get through and dust and sweep the floor. And wipe things down a little bit, and pretty soon the class is looking spick and span, and we didn't have to pay anything for it. And here the kids they're getting a free education. They've been free meals anymore, because that's the way the Democrats wanted, cradle to grave service, back and forth. We'll take care of you. We're the government. You don't need parents. You only need us. So put them to work and get some of that investment back for us. At least try it. Is something that I'd like to see. Something that I thought was amusing. There's an ad in the newspaper this morning for what looks like a real estate company in Saipan. It's called Joint Marketing. Now, question: did they have that? Did they have? Was that the name of the company before they signed the marijuana laws, or did we change it? New and improved. It's Joint Marketing in Saipan. So here's the deal, guys. Notwithstanding John's problem with his tax refund check, we know that there's money out there, and in the next this time period between the beginning of September and the end of October, imagine how much money has been floating around on Guam. At least $50 million worth of tax refunds out there. Regular paychecks are out. We've got our regular kind of brand of tourists that are walking around all the shopping areas, and we've got the military that are in there. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen, how much dough is floating around this town. Reach your hand up into the air and try to grab some for yourself, why don't you? The radio station is KUSG. Thanks, Bob, for the comment. Enjoy watching from Manila, and thanks for everybody watching all around the round world. KUSG Agana, that's what they know us as at the FCC. You know us as The Point. Here's Fox News.
He maintains his innocence. She says he sexually assaulted her. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. Hours of testimony from Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh and Christine Blasey Ford, the woman who accuses him of sexual assault when they were